Low of 65. Going to be a cool 10-mile-per-hour wind from the southeast, or say a light breeze from the southeast. Sunset right around 8:17, so about an hour and a half after kickoff, we're going to see the sun start to go down over the beautiful press box here at Volga Stadium, or Sioux Valley Stadium. We're live from Cotton Sports Complex at the Kazakh Field, as the Kazakhs 1-0 take off against the 1-0 Sisseton Redmond, who had a demonstrative win last week over Dakota Hills. Sioux Valley had their own demonstrative win over Jim River. Both teams trying to keep that undefeated record alive. Who will do it? We'll preview that and more coming up here on the pregame show. Again, this is the pregame show, the South Dakota Soybean Processors pregame show here live on the Kazakh Sports Network. B93.7, this is Cash. Welcome you back into a beautiful Friday night here in the press box. Bill Vincent and I will be coming up live on the color analysis and the game call right at 7 o'clock. Our pregame expert and eventually one of our other analysis at the stadium here whenever we can get him freed up before he has to go on over to Elkton tonight. Jason
I do a lot of covering for Elkton and Lake Benton over there, so they have another home game tonight. So.
Yeah, we got a lot to cover. I guess first of all, Jason Salzman.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Well.
You look good. I don't know if that's...
I tried. I mean, I showered and everything, so I did try
really?
to look good. Yeah,
you went out the way and showered.
I make it as fancy as I can to look good for our radio listeners.
well, you know, I guess the first thing I take away as we sit here, and I'm thinking about, you know, I was thinking this earlier this week too. It's already middle of August, end of August. We're already
middle-ish.
I mean, it's
it's the
August. It's 25th, 26th, 27th, the end of the month.
Well, look, football's already started, so August is going to fly by.
Crazy.
And all of a sudden, it's going to be October. It's going to be chilly out here on these Friday nights.
Oh, man.
And, you know, after that, the snow starts flying around, and then it's basketball season.
That's a sinful word to say.
It's amazing how quickly the
year goes.
Weeks just fly by. As parents, you can do it with your athletes out there. But a senior doing his last year, until they get to the end of the season, they have no idea how fast the season could go.
I remember it feels like just yesterday I was out in Rapid City for State A basketball, and it feels like just yesterday.
Yeah.
And it feels like just yesterday it was the middle of June at my camp, Cash Money Camp, and then it feels like it was just my birthday in May. And I feel like, and I told my mom this the other day, and she goes, "No, welcome to the life of getting older. It only gets worse." And I'm like, "Oh, that's scary."
Yeah, they fly by. They really do.
I mean, 1 minute I'll be 25 and ugly. Next minute, which I am now,
You'll be 35 and ugly.
Yeah. Then I'll be the 40s and coyote ugly.
Well, I don't know if you want to go coyote ugly. You're gonna be dancing on bars? That's the coyote ugly?
Really? I just when I think of ugly, I think I've never seen this show before. Apparently, it's an older show. I know the name Coyote Ugly.
It is. Yeah. It says the 25-year-old. Coyote Ugly is an older show. Sure. Oh my God. That'll generate some laughs out there in the listening I hope
area.
So. Yeah, youngster. Let's get to some stats and stuff.
Let's talk football.
Young fella.
And this is a great, obviously, now you're going to have me think about coyotes the rest of the night. Let's talk football. The Kazakhs 1-0. Sisseton 1-0. We're going to preview what Sisseton brings to the table here coming up. We're going to talk about what Sioux Valley's done well. Let's start with a recap of last week. Now, you weren't there last week, Sal.
I was not. I was over in Elkton covering my Elks over there, and they also had a pretty nice victory themselves. But
thrashing win.
I've got some stats for you, but other than that, you saw it live, so you're going to have to do a lot more of the recap than I got.
Yeah, definitely. I guess take over. Let me know the stats of last week.
Some stats that I got. Brock Christopherson rushed for 113 yards and 2 scores. The quarterback taking over for the position, Jace Christensen, had a nice night going 6 of 8 passing for 100 yards and 2 scores, but he also rushed another touchdown in. So, you know, we talked in the pregame last week about how they needed to find somebody to be a spark and someone to step up and a leader, and it looks like we've got a couple of nice contenders for the leadership role on the Cossack squad.
You know, so going into the game last week, after our pregame conversation, I was calling the game, and I was making remarks to Bill about this is a team that's going to look a lot different from previous years.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was some concern right away at the beginning of the game. Jim River came out strong. I know I was talking to Coach Hughes after the game. They were really impressed with some of the players in Jim River, specifically the linebacker, who all of a sudden I'm drawing a blank, and his name was phenomenal. But Sioux Valley, it was kind of a push and tug right away. I mean, Sioux Valley, you could tell they knew they were in control.
Okay.
But they didn't know, you know, it kind of just took them some time to find the footing.
Yeah.
But this is a Sioux Valley team that has weapons on weapons at skill positions. They're very speedy. They're quick. Guys I was impressed with. Number 1, Jace Christensen. No, his number's not number 1. He's number 12, but he's a junior. He's 5'10", 160. His first varsity game. We talked to him on the post-game show after the game, and I asked him, what was it like? Was it nerve-wracking? What were their nerves? And he said, yeah, there was nerves going into the game. He was nervous, naturally, but he said once he got going a couple reps, then he felt calm. He felt good. He handled the position admirably. I think there's going to be a time in the season he's going to have to step up. He's going to have to shoulder more of the load. At some point in the season, when the rushing attack's not working, when they can't get things going, he's going to have to step up and be that guy that can throw the ball. Now, but we won't see that anytime soon. I think Dan's going to try to work him slowly into the offensive fluidity, if you will. But let's talk about the guys that really stood out to me offensively.
Okay.
The line struggled. I know I talked to Coach Snyder a little bit about that, and Coach Hughes that he could have done a better job of blocking, doing some small things, communication stuff. But overall, they were hit and miss, but there's a lot to like there with the line right now. The parts that really impressed me about the Sioux Valley team that I thought was really cool to watch, Donovan Rose. He's number 18. He's a sophomore. He's a slot receiver, defensive back, running back. And I'm telling you, and this is not exaggeration, Southland, you ready for this? This is not a J.D. Barrett exaggeration, that's some craziness.
All right.
If there's a guy in South Dakota that's Tyreek Hill-esque, this is it. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm not saying it to be, stupid, oh, here goes Cash again, talking crazy. This kid is the real deal.
Okay.
Tyreek Hill-esque. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. Donovan Rose, remember the name. And I was telling Bill, every rose is a thorn, but not Donovan Rose. It smells good all the time.
There you go.
He is a 7'11". He's always open. So. This kid is quick twitch. I mean, they were doing him on jet reverses, powers. I mean, moving him all across the place. And I'm telling you, this start to stop is unlike anything I've ever seen in South Dakota high school football. And I do not say that exaggeratorily.
Okay.
Impressive player for the
Something to look forward to then.
Oh, he's incredible.
Something that everyone can watch, and see how he progresses.
Oh, that's to me the coolest thing. I think we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. This kid's only a sophomore. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's only going to get better. He's 5'9", 160 pounds, and he is pure muscle.
He's got to grow yet, I would assume, right? Only being a sophomore. He'll get bigger than that, won't he?
If he gets a couple more feet on him, inches on him. Excuse me, feet. Yeah, that'd be real nice.
Yeah, let's make him 7'9". Sure.
Yeah, sure. If he gets a couple of more inches on him, and he gains another 20 pounds, we're talking D1.
And I think that's just he's so young. I think that'll happen regardless. I mean, you can do everything you want to in the weight room, but it can't get you taller.
I wish.
So I really doubt if he's done growing, being just a sophomore, he still might put on an inch or two.
Impressive
add
player.
Some weight to that, and some off-season work will add some pounds to that as well.
Another kid I was really impressed with, and I missed his first long touchdown. I missed the call and I accidentally said it with someone else. But a kid by the name of Brock Christopherson. He's a running back, defensive back, 5'9", 150 pounds, speedy, quick. And that's kind of the nickname I gave this offense, is a lightning strike offense. It's so multifaceted. So many guys, when they touch the ball, it can be one touch and they're gone.
Okay.
I mean, and that's why I think Sioux Valley, and they run a lot of jet sweeps. They run a lot of powers. They just do a lot of different things. And then their power back, and that hasn't really been talked about a lot that first game, because they didn't really need him to be that power guy, because what was working was the quick stuff outside. But Lane Leach, he's a senior running back linebacker, 5'9", 165 pounds, and he runs the ball hard. And I think it's the one thing I really noticed, Jason, about this team. No matter if you were the quick guy or the power guy, when they got the ball, they were putting the foot in the ground, one read, and they were getting downhill hard. Right. Running the ball freaking hard. And that was really impressive to me, because you don't see it a lot in high school where every ball carrier is running the ball like their life depends on it.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought was really impressive.
Well, that could be part of their mentality that they do have. They know they have to fill holes from a lot of guys that graduated. They're looking for guys to step up. They're looking for leaders, and maybe that's just kind of a clue of what is coming this season.
And I should also mention, we haven't even talked about the player that was one of my favorites to be one of the best players in the state at his position, a guy by the name of Bowden Schiller. We previewed him in the pregame last week.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that he was a non-factor. He made plays, but they didn't need him to be the guy right now.
Yeah.
And that's really important for a kid as a junior. He didn't need to be the guy. He's 6 foot, 185 pounds, and he made some plays. Mm-hmm. But he didn't need to be relied on to make every play.
Well, that's good. I mean,
100%.
He will make plays, yes, but to have a little bit of the load off of your shoulders is always going to help.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that we're going to see, again, when they start playing some of these teams coming up in the coming weeks, like in Elk Point and Jefferson on the road next weekend, or when they go to Bridgewater or host Bridgewater Emery-Easton here in a couple weeks, those are games where you're going to have your big dogs step up and get out the kennel.
Yeah.
And Sioux Valley has a couple players that can help take the load off of a guy like Bowden Schiller. And like I was talking about in the game with Bill Vincent, and Jason, you know this, you've watched a lot of football. When you have guys going on motions all the time, that makes those linebackers move a little bit, gets them out of their gap fits, and you can run that ball down their freaking throat.
If you do it right, yeah.
Like Chinese food going down on a Friday night.
All right, then.
Fast and furious. Well, you know, it's exciting. This is a Sioux Valley team that I know people will point out that, oh, it's just Jim River. I don't know about that one. I talked to Dan Hughes after the game, and I know he wasn't just being politically correct when he said this. They were really impressed with Jim River. We talked about in the pregame. This is a team we didn't know a whole lot about. They were impressive. I'm not trying to put lipstick on a pony here.
Yeah.
This is a team that really, I thought, I mean, for the first quarter and a half, 2 quarters, they were giving themselves a shot to be in it, and they kept battling. Even the third and fourth quarter, they kept battling. I mean, I'm not trying. I know there's no one from Jim River listening right now, but impressive team, keep going. And they gave Sioux Valley a good test out the gate, kind of a punch you in the mouth test out the gate.
Well, we talked about how it's their second year, right, of being Jim River themselves. So they are fairly new, yes. They were figuring out a lot of stuff last year. They also had to fill holes from graduates. I think they'll keep getting better. You know, you talk about it all the time, of building a culture, and that's what Jim River is doing. They're at the very bottom of a foundation trying to build the culture that they want, the team that they want, the winning attitude that they want. So, yeah, there's some talent on that squad, and they will get better, but, you know, we caught them on a nice night and
takes time.
Took care of them. But, yeah, it does take time to get a culture and a winning attitude together. Sure.
Bill Vincent made the same comment last Friday. He said, you know, when the cool thing about Jim River is that you get to kind of start from the ground up, and you get to do things a brand new way.
Yeah.
And I should also mention, not that it has anything to do with football, but I sound like my mother here. Their colors were fire. Jim Rivers, gold and white. I'm telling you, I love gold and I love white, like the color together, and then black too. Yeah. That is one sexy color combo.
You'll have to send them an email.
It's not a cold combo from Subway. It's a sexy color combo from Jim River.
All right. There you go.
No, Jason, this is so fun, dude.
Yeah.
How do you not love talking football like this?
I love talking football. I get very few opportunities to talk about it on the radio like this, but with my pals, and we're talking
football.
Not just high school football, but we'll talk college football. You know, a lot of SDSU stuff, obviously.
100%.
But, you know, then you get into football and fantasy football. And
you're a Vikings fan, so we have to feel a little bit sorry for you. I mean, not all of us are as delusional as you are, but it's okay. Just kidding.
Vikings are number 2. I was a Patriots guy in high school.
Really?
I started with Drew Bledsoe, and then Adam Vinatieri.
You're a Patriots fan right now?
Our SDSU, Adam Vinatieri, was the one that kept me going on it.
So you're actually a Patriots fan?
Yeah. Oh. We're out there, man.
How much time... So I don't want to run too short because we're on a pregame show for a high school team.
Yeah.
But I watched something with Colin Cowherd talk about Bill Belichick today, and it literally backs up everything, my disliking for Bill Belichick. Yeah. It backs it up. The guy can't win without Tom Brady. I'm sorry.
Well, we found out last year for one, but, you know, Mac Jones is going to improve at some point. But it's the fact that he didn't replace an offensive coordinator with an offensive guy. He's got 2 defensive coordinators that are going to share the job.
Amen. No, and look at the career history of Bill Belichick. Every quarterback he's been with.
Yeah.
It's always been bad unless it's been Tom Brady. And when it has been good,
but it was 20 years of Tom Brady.
And but look at Tom Brady though. Tom Brady does not like Bill Belichick. It's very obvious.
They had a working relationship, much
100%.
like Montana and Bill Walsh had.
But you think they get along?
It was a working relationship.
You don't think they get along? Look at some of the greatest coordinators in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, all these big name guys. You know, look at that. They're throwing Niners threw Jimmy Garoppolo to the curb middle of the season. Basically told him, you're gone after this. He still played well. Yeah. Same thing with Jared Goff. Same thing. This is probably the wrong time to talk about this because we are in a pregame high school show.
It's a Sioux Valley pregame show. Here we are talking about your 49ers.
In the NFL.
Any chance you get to throw your 49ers?
Oh, heck yeah, man. You know,
Garoppolo wins games, I'll say that, but he's just not the shiny guy, the leader, the something that
Take us over the hump.
Because they drafted Trey Lance to replace Garoppolo, and now they're trying to find a way to either release him or trade him.
You know, that song, it's like an old English song, Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. That's what I was feeling when we finally get rid of him. That's what I'm going to be feeling. But let's go back talking Cossack football. Listeners, if you're just joining us.
A little sidebar right there.
This is B93.7, home of the Cossack Sports Network. We're jacked up to have you here for the South Dakota Soybean Processors pregame show. Obviously, our exclusive presenter of the game tonight is Cubby Sports Bar and Grill. Our introduction officials is Consumer Protection. And our player of the game last week was Donovan Rose. This week, we'll see who wins it today, or I should say tonight, will be the Valley Mart Outlaw Graphics player of the game. They're going to get a free pizza and soda from Valley Mart, as well as a free T-shirt from Outlaw Graphics that I will bring to them after the game tonight. Fired up for that. And then as well in the post-game show, we'll have all the coverage, I should say, on the CC's Bar and Grill post-game show, where we interview players, coaches, and give them awards out. It's a lot of fun to get players' interactions after the game, right after it's over, so they get the kind of the raw emotion of it.
Maybe this week you can get their opinions on Garoppolo.
Don't get me started on Garoppolo. Damn it, Jimmy. Not only Jimmy Salzman, Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's talk a little bit about Sisseton here. So,
okay.
Sisseton, I know a lot of fans around here are more familiar with the Redmen. They're up north of us here. They play Sioux Valley basketball. They're a team that last week they came out against the Dakota Hills team that isn't the best, but they blanked them 22-0 to start the season off 1-0 at home.
Yep.
They're a team that is relatively small. They're not large. They're similar size to what I would say. I mean, Sioux Valley's probably 9 or 10 kids larger than them, but they're a similar size to a 9-man school roster. I mean, but
okay.
in the most respectful way possible, I'll say that. They have some size down low in the form of some of their linemen, 6'4", 265, 6'2", 175. But overall, they're a very smaller team in certain positions, primarily the skill positions. They have some bigger skill position players like Jason Fisher, who you're going to see is my pick for one of the players to watch tonight. Jason Fisher is the junior tight end, defensive end, 6'4", 185 pounds. Their quarterback is, let me find the name here again quick. I lost it. I had it earlier. I believe it's Ethan Spigler, if it's the number I got from last week's game. He's a junior, 6', 145 pounds. This is a Sisseton team that is going to try to get the ball out in space. They're not a power running team. They're going to try to use some of their speed, similar to what Sioux Valley does. So you're going to see a lot of stretch plays tonight out of Sisseton, a lot of plays to try to break things, whether it's trap, stretch, sweep, simple things similar to what Jim River did. Jim River last week, the most impressive thing I thought about Jim River last week, they came out in pretty much every drive. They ran power right, power left, sweep right, sweep left, power gap A, and they run up the A gap, the B gap. Simple, super simple stuff.
Yeah.
And Sioux Valley struggled out of the way to adjust to that, and then they started to adjust to it better. It was it was a learning game for Sioux Valley. You could tell there's a lot. They were substituting a lot, trying to get guys reps and time to kind of figure things out on their own.
Yeah.
I guess, Jason, my question for you: how does a team like Sioux Valley attack this game against Sisseton, knowing that you're the heavy favorite and you're coming off a game where you feel all right about what you did? I know Coach Hughes and I talked after the game off air, and I asked him, I was like, how do you feel? Like, that was a better Jim River team than we thought. How do you feel? Right. He said, we have some stuff to clean up. I like where we're at, but we have some stuff we got to clean up. How was the coach to attack this going into this game, knowing that it's probably not a good measuring stick, if you will, in totality anyway, of where you want to be?
Well, it's only one game, but there's still things that you can see in film. There's still things that you can work on in practice. You know, a linebacker has to shed blocks and get into gaps and make stops. The corners have to make sure they keep up with receivers. And the fat guys in the front, they have to do their job. They have to fill holes. They have to close gaps. And they got to get their hands on whoever's got the ball. And they work on those in practice. It was only Jim River, and it was only one game, but you still use it as a learning process. You still use it as a learning opportunity. And you can watch game film, and that's how game film is utilized for these kids. You know, you're talking about Rose being a sophomore. Maybe he's not accustomed to seeing, game film, but if they do it on Sunday nights or Mondays after practice, whenever they get a chance to watch that game film and see what they can do, and that's how they adjust. Yeah, they only have 4 quarters of football to analyze, but it should be enough where they can see their mistakes or see their missteps and be able to correct it and try to prepare for a Sisseton team coming to town.
Some stats from last week. Sisseton's win last week over Dakota Hills, Sisseton's defense recovered 3 fumbles, notched 2 quarterback stats, and limited the Grizzlies to 91 yards of total offense in the win Thursday last week. The Redmen tallied 187 yards of offense. They got touchdown runs from Nate Tashida, who was 11 carries for 83 yards, Mike Ham, 12 for 78 yards, and then Ethan Spigler and Jason Fisher caught 3 passes for 55 yards, and Mason Schultz led the defense with 7 solo tackles and 6 assists. So there's that name, Ethan Spigler, I talked about, as well as Jason Fisher. I talked about those two as well. Offensively, defensively, they're very multifaceted, can play multiple positions. The kid I want to keep an eye on offensively is Nate Tashida for Sisseton. He's a kid that is relatively bigger. If I can find his name quick here. Here we go. 5'11", 155-pound kid, so not big in terms of size, but big in terms of bruntness and bulk.
Yeah.
And he's a running back, runs hard, plays linebacker and running back, so kind of the guy up front is used to physicality. Sioux Valley last week had a player for Jim River that they played that also was the same way, played running back and linebacker, and Sioux Valley struggled out the gate against him. They eventually nullified him as the game wore on, but it's going to be critically essential for Sioux Valley to not let Sisseton get a foothold or any momentum early in the game, and to kind of eliminate the strong points of the Sisseton Redmen, which is running the ball. And
with two guys that had at least 12 carries in the stats we were talking about there, they're going to run it. That's their strength. Yeah, they had a couple of guys that had some receptions there, but their bread and butter is to try to run it. That's going to be their strength. And
big deal.
The coaches at Sioux Valley know that. They'll try to prevent that from happening, and then also Sioux Valley knows their strength as well. We like to run it too. They can put it in the air, sure, but you're going to see two teams that are going to try to feed off their strength. And
Micah Ham, he is not what's the word I want to use here? He's not a slouch himself. He's 6 foot, 137 pounds, so a little bit lighter than Nate Tashida, but he also plays running back and linebacker. And he's a 6 foot kid that, like you said, kind of the two bulls at running back for the Sisseton Redmen. If Sioux Valley wants to get out early and jump on them early, they have to slow down this multifaceted rushing attack of the Redmen. Now, quickly here, Jason, let's go back over to Sioux Valley quick here. Some kids last week that I noticed that I want to go over quick that I thought stepped up and played well. And Hudson Rusink, I was really surprised.
Okay.
Not because, he's a Rusink, so typically that name is associated with football. But as of late, I associated the Rusink name with basketball because Sioux Valley's had some really good Rusink players, mainly Aiden Rusink. Hudson Rusink, his younger brother, who's a junior, he's a wide receiver, D-end, plays some tight end as well, is 6'2", 200 pounds. He caught a touchdown pass on a rollout from Christensen. But I think what's most interesting about Rusink on both defensive and offense and defense, he found ways to impact the game. And he's pretty athletic for his size. I think a kid like him is going to be critical that he continues to develop as the season goes on, because he's going to be a huge part of this offense and defense. Some other kids I thought were interesting that I thought played well in limited times. I saw them make an impact on offense, but I thought they showed they could be a valuable part of this offense going forward. Skylar Trickstead, he's a wide receiver, 5'10", 150 pounds. He played well. The Guthmiller brothers, Jacob and Mitchell Guthmiller, sophomore and freshman respectively, wide receiver, DB, running back, DB. They're very quick, athletic. Both run right around 6 foot, 150 pounds. They're going to be really good. As well as, I know that the Sioux Valley was looking to see if Caleb Murphy was going to have an impact. I know he was injured, so he didn't play a whole lot. Another kid that I'm curious to see how much he develops throughout the year. Wyatt Hockett, and then the other one, Braden Danzeason. Now, Braden Danzeason's the younger brother of Damian Danzeason.
All right.
So he's pretty young. He's only a freshman, but he has that Danzeason blood in him. He's 5'11", 150 pounds. He's athletic. He could develop into something if he continues to build on some of the work that his brothers have done before him. And then Wyatt Hockett, he's a senior wide receiver linebacker, 5'11", 165 pounds, can really fly, super quick. Some names I want to bring up. Then I should probably give credit to the big guys up front. Whether you're talking about a guy, the Hogs. Aiden Brower leads the way. He's a big guy up front. He had a good game last week. He's looking to build on that. And going into this week, Preston Vanderwall up front. He played some time at offensive and defensive line, as well as Austin Siegel, 5'11", 230 pounds. And I can go on and on. There's a bunch of kids up front that played well, but they're going to have to continue to do that because this is a Sioux Valley team that's, like I said many times, and I'll probably say many times after this, it's a very different makeup of a team than we've seen in the last, 3 or 4 years.
Right. Yeah.
But
well, they're learning.
Yeah, 100%.
Young kids are stepping up. We'll see it again tonight.
We're down to our last 3 to 4 minutes before we get to a quick commercial break and then back out to for the kickoff. Remember, join me and Bill Vincent here in the next couple of minutes as we send it back. Join me and Bill Vincent on the call here before we send it back to the studio. Now, Jason, before we let you go, I know you've got to get in the road here going over to Elkton. What are some thoughts on, I know we already kind of touched this in a different way of asking it, but how should Sioux Valley not only attack this game, but more so, and here's what I'm getting at. They play Elk Point Jefferson next week at EPJ. And I know that typically high school you don't try to hide film or you don't try to like show limited things. This is high school.
Yeah.
But
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Same token, though, you don't want to give out too much against teams like a Sisseton because Elk Point Jefferson is good, and they're going to be watching film, and they're going to try to keep an eye on what you do.
Sure.
How does Sioux Valley not only attack tonight, and that's the question I asked you earlier, but how do you attack tonight knowing you've got a stretch of games coming up in the next 3 weeks where you go to Elk Point Jefferson, you go to Hill City, way out in the west coast, or not west coast, west part of the state, and then you host Bridgewater Emory Ethan, who is the powerhouse of Class 11B.
So, you don't want to show too much, but I don't think you can worry about that at the same time because you do have a group of younger kids on this squad that still need to figure out what their roles are going to be and what they want to do and how they're going to win. So, as far as trick plays, hopefully you can keep those in your pocket and not use those, but they really need to focus on what their strengths are going to be, which is why I'm saying that you're going to see a running team tonight for sure. Yeah, there'll be times where they do put it in the air, but their strength is to run it, and they have to get good at that with new personnel that's on the squad this year. So I don't think you worry about not showing future opponents something in game film. I think you do what you can to win a ball game tonight. And if it does take another trick play out of your pocket, then sure. But if they can show that they can run the ball, they can power run it, and they can control the line of scrimmage, then I don't think you have to worry about too much. You're looking for guys to create what they want to be and do what they're good at.
100%. Well, our keys to the game, our Pepsi keys to the game brought to you by your local Pepsi Bottling Co. Keys to the game for Sioux Valley. Offensively, establish the line of scrimmage right away. And that sounds super simple. Like,
it does.
That's what everyone says. But it's so much harder than it is. Everyone says that from college game day to NFL to high school. Establish line of scrimmage. But it's true.
Yeah, the Hogs in the front lines up there have to be able to push people around so you can run the ball.
If you want to win.
Yeah.
And if you want to lose, I mean, don't do it. But
you
got to trust the big guys in front. Establish the line of scrimmage. Our second key to the game, brought to you by Pepsi, is, in turn, stop the run. If you're a defense, you've got to stop the run. I think it's something that, again, sounds so simple. We could probably say it every single week, but especially in these games where Sisseton relies so much on their running game, you've got to be able to stop the run right away because you don't want to let them, average 4 to 5 yards a carry in the first half and kind of stick around because that means your starters to stay in the game longer, more chances to get injured. And stopping the run and establishing a scrimmage are two huge keys for injury prevention as well if you're thinking about keeping your starters out early. And then our third Pepsi key to the game, confidence. And what I mean by confidence is this is a game for you Sioux Valley fans out there and for you Cossack players out there that you want to find confidence because you're going into a stretch of games after this game. Not to overlook this game, but you're going into a stretch after this game where you're going to have to go up against teams that you're, for the first time, maybe some of these kids' careers, you're going to be an underdog. You're not going to be not going to be the top dog anymore, like where you're going to games favored like you have been.
And they're going to find guys on the other side of the line of scrimmage that are bigger than they are.
100%.
At some point.
And that's often not what we see.
You have to be ready for that.
So this is a year where if you're Sioux Valley, you've got to establish confidence and grow confidence in these games. So going into these games coming up, you don't feel like, am I sure of myself here? You know, if you're a running back and you're playing well right now, you're not going to second guess hitting a hole hard against an Elk Point Jefferson or against a Hill City or a Bridgewater Emory Ethan. It's going to come second nature. So if you're Sioux Valley, establish confidence. So 3 keys of the game brought to you by our local Pepsi bottling company. 3 keys of the game: establish line of scrimmage, stop the run, and have confidence. Build confidence. Jason Stiles, anything else you want to get off your chest before we get out of here and back to the studio for a quick break?
I'll just go right through Class 11B, the rankings. Winner stayed at the top spot, getting all 21 first-place votes. Bridgewater Emory Ethan stayed at 2. Elk Point Jefferson stayed at number 3. Sioux Valley, the Cossacks, stayed at number 4. And St. Thomas More rounds out that top 5 as far as South Dakota Media Poll goes.
Hey, that was fun.
I do what I can, man.
We do what we can here. This has been the South Dakota Soybean Processors pregame show brought to you by, of course, South Dakota Soybean Processors. This is B93.7, home of your Sioux Valley Cossack Sports Network. I'm Cash. That's Jason Salzman.
Hey, I'll talk to you next week.
He's off to Elton right now, though. We got to get back to studio, get a couple commercials in, and then we'll head back out to the booth here at Sioux Valley Cossack Field to head to the call with Bill Vincent at my right, me here me here to his left. That does sound right here. This is B93.7, home of the Cossack Sports Network. Back here in 2 minutes or less.
love sports, you'll love Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill. No matter what sport or what team you follow, Cubby's has the best sports viewing atmosphere in the area. Plus a full bar, appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, wraps, salads, and a menu just for the kids. All ages are welcome. Stop down before or after the game. Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill, a proud supporter of all area teams, located in downtown Brookings.
Welcome to B93.7, home of your Sioux Valley Kazakh Sports Network. I want to welcome you into the Cotton Sports Complex here, Kazakh Field, home of your Sioux Valley Kazakhs. Again, this is B93.7, home of the Kazakh Sports Network. I'm Cash, the voice of the Kazakh Sports, and to my right is the color analyst for today's game, Bill Vince. I want a huge thank you to Jason Salzman for the coverage on the pregame show, and of course our thank you to our pregame presenters, the South Coast Soybean and Processors, as well as Pepsi and Pepsi Distributing Company here locally. They brought us our keys to the game, and we got a good one tonight here. Beautiful weather tonight, right around the high 60s, light breeze coming from the north and northwest, and kind of ideal football weather as we creep farther and farther into fall.
Yeah, it is. Beautiful night here. You know, sometimes in these early season games, you run into high heat and humidity, and we've seemed to have avoided that for our first two Friday nights of the season.
We got a battle of the unbeatens right now. 1-0 Sisseton, 1-0 Sioux Valley. Now, Sisseton has had an interesting, to say the least, couple of years. They got their first win last year in what was quite a long time since they had a win, and then they didn't have a coach up until 2 weeks before the regular season started this year, and they found a way to kind of pull things together rather quickly and find that first win of the season this year to start 1-0, and a huge win for them over the Dakotas last week, 22-0. Now, Bill, this is a team coming in here that they are huge underdogs to the Kazakhs. Why should Redmond fans have hope?
Well, the hope is because they brought in Jim Gibson, first-year head coach, and they got a victory to start the season over Dakota Hills, 22-0 win for the Sisseton Redmen out of the Northeast Conference. So they're coming in here on a win, and that's enough to get excitement and to get a few fans behind you.
Definitely, and I think alongside of that comment of having that first win and a new coach is also having a guy like Nate Sheeta. He's a junior running back, 5'11", 155-pound beefer, if you will. He plays linebacker, plays running back, runs the ball hard. I know we saw some highlights from him on Wednesday during our pregame show coverage. Me and Jason were watching some stuff about him. I know Bill did some research on him earlier this week, and he's one of their key players, as well as Micah Hamm. I let Bill talk a little more about last week's stats. I know that in their win over Dakota Hills, a couple of guys had some good games.
Yeah, Michael Hamm, like you mentioned, Ethan DeSpigler, Shepard, Fisher, Bill, Hansen, the Schultzes, and Kreese. But yeah, last week it was 22-0 over Dakota Hills. The Sisseton defense recovered 3 fumbles, notched 2 quarterback sacks, and limited the Grizzlies to 94 yards of total offense for the win. The Redmen tallied 187 yards of offense and got touchdowns runs from Nate Cheetah. He had 11 carries for 83 yards, and Micah Hamm had a touchdown as well. He had 12 carries for 78 yards, and of course, quarterback Ethan DeSpigler did a nice job as well at running the offense. Jason Fisher caught 3 passes for 55 yards, and Mason Schultz led the defense with 7 solo tackles and 6 assists.
Kicking off for the Kazakhs will be Deegan. They deferred in the second half, so it'll be Sisseton to receive the ball to start, and it was fielded by number 35, Micah Hamm. It was bobbled originally on the play by number 8, Levante Carter, and they brought the ball back up to right around the 15-yard line. A fortunate start for the Sisseton team, a negative start for them, if you will, but coming out at quarterback for the Redmond will be number 2, Ethan DeSpigler. He's a junior quarterback, 6 foot, 145 pounds. I know in our pregame conversations we had, a lighter arm doesn't like to throw the ball downfield. This is going to be a very run-heavy offense.
It is, and right away they get the ball first, I think is important for them, just because of how quickly the Cossacks can put points on the board, so you at least get to get the clock started and get that first touch if you're the Redmen.
Here we go. Redmond coming out. It'll be trips to the right, single receiver left, one running back in the backfield alongside the Spigler on his right hip will be Sheeta. Sheeta left hip of DeSpigler. It's going to be a pass to start. He goes a quick out to Sheeta. Sheeta cuts it back up hard running there, but it'll be barely across the line of scrimmage, if that. He ran hard and got collapsed on by Schiller and several other Kazakhs defenders. Interesting start. I did not expect to see a pass after we just talked about how run-heavy they were.
Yeah, maybe you have that thing. We talked about that last week with the Cossacks. Maybe you have something that you kept in your hip pocket for this game. You know, that play actually went for a short loss. Right away, quickly to the sidelines going to work here is Ryder Vanderwall working on his long snapping along the sidelines.
Here we go. Second down 11 from the Kazakh 15. Make that 16. Sisseton Redmond, battle of the unbeatens. 1-0, 1-0 Sioux Valley, 1-0 Sisseton. Trips left now, empty receiver, split receiver out right as well. Backfield is to Spigler as well as Sheeta. To Spigler, rolls right. Flicks it out right flat. Ball is deflected by Donald Rose. Nice pass play there. It was an interesting concept they're running with now. They're trying to spread the Sioux Valley speedy defense out and hopefully get one-on-one matchups.
Yeah, 2 plays, 2 passes.
Interesting.
And right away for the Cossacks, we're seeing number 3, Caleb Murphy on the defense.
He was didn't see a lot of time last week. I know he had struggled with some injuries. He's back, and that's a reinforcement the Cossacks will need as they go deeper and deeper into the season and play some teams like Elk Point Jefferson next week and later on Bridgewater Emory.
Yeah, a late baseball season injury is just bouncing back off of that.
Third down and long for the Redmond. To Spigler, quick screen out right.
A live ball.
Ball's tipped at the line of scrimmage. It looked like it was tipped by a Cossack player. It'll be down. It'll be incomplete. So we'll bring up a 4th down now and 10 from the 15, and Sisseton sends on the punt team.
So a little bit of a sell job even to us up here where we thought it was going to be handoff power football, and they were looking to find some space, especially to the far side of the field there. The Sisseton Redmond with their black lids, their white jerseys on white pants. Sharp-looking look here for the Redmond.
Definitely. Interesting concept there. They're probably trying to catch the Cossacks off guard from what the film they've been watching all week. And out back to punt for the Redmond will be number 14, Jason Fisher. Tight end Dion had a good week last week in their opening win over Dakota Hills. Punt's going to roll back. Nice rolling punt down to the 27-yard line, 28-yard line, and that's where they're going to down it. Brock Gustafson allowed it to roll back and took it a Sisseton Redmond bounce, and that's where this Cossack offense is going to start, which found inconsistency last week, but found some big plays to get an opening season dominating win over Jim Everett.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a 50-yard line or maybe even a better field position than that, but it just got off over Brock Christopherson's head. But yeah, Borden Shore, Lane Leach, Skylar Trigstead, Jace Christensen, Hudson Rusink, Donovan Rose, Preston Topp, Chris Hornick, Austin Siegel, Aiden Brower, and Preston Vanderwall for the Cossack offense.
Cossacks come out under center. Will be Christensen Rose going right to left. Handoff dive play here to it looks to be number 10, Lane Leach. And it's going to be a minor gain, if 1, maybe 2 yards there. Good collapsing play by the Sisseton D to start that initial Cossack playoff. Cossacks have shown a lot of that under center look. They operate from that and then kind of a pistol wing T look, if you will. Then they go out and spread it out sometimes. But typically you see this run offense that features a heavy line, no receiver split out, an I formation type look now here for the Cossacks. Second down and 8. Going to be a power play off the left side to Schiller. Schiller breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2 tackles, and falls forward for a gain of close to 4. It'll bring him close to a 3rd down now and a small 3 from the 31-yard line.
And early on, the Cossack faithful and fans are seeing number 14, Garrett Nelson, the 5'11", 185-pound senior in the lineup, or maybe possibly running plays in and out with Trigstead. We'll keep an eye on that and see. Maybe a little bit of a different starter there tonight. 3rd
down and short here for the Cossacks. 3rd down and 3 from the 36. Christensen. Fullback dive here to Leach. Leach is going to fall forward for a gain of close to 4, maybe 5, and a 1st down for the Cossack offense here. This is the Cossack offense that we knew coming out of the gate this season it was going to be some growing pains, new weapons on offense, having to find who's going to be the big stud, who's going to stand out for Sioux Valley, and finding out who they're going to be. They know they have guys, but it's plugging and playing and figuring out just what works the best. And now this game, I think we're going to see a lot more of comfortability within this offense under Jace Christensen in his 2nd start of his career. 1st down and 10 from the Cossack 40. Christensen under center. Going to be a dive play here. Nope, it's going to be a counter play here to Schiller. Schiller makes a tackle. He may go. 40. He's gone. 30, 20, 15, 10. See ya. Touchdown, Cossacks.
That didn't take long.
The home run offense, the thunder and lightning offense for the Cossacks there, and a counter play where they scored in that last week as well. It's a fake left, go back right, gets the defense moving right to left, and Schiller, the athleticism, took him all the way for 6.
And now we'll see if it'll be a 2-point conversion or if we'll be kicking here. I know Vanderwall's been working on his long snap in here along the sideline, and it does look like number 55, Ryder Vanderwall, on to do the snapping duties here.
Holding will be for the Cossacks, number 21, Braden Benzies, and kicking will be Deegan. Snap is back. Clean hold. Kick is up, and kick is right through the middle. Good, and the Cossacks jump out over the Redmond. A quick 7-0 lead off the legs of Jackson to make that Bowden Schiller. A long touchdown there for Schiller off that counter play there. Not a nice movement and blocking. Those counters, Bill, as you know, you play football, you've called a lot of games. You have to have perfect blocking and understanding of gap and scheme, and the Kazakh linemen executed it perfectly there.
Yeah, well-schooled coaching staff had them ready, something they saw on film and knew where they wanted to go early in this game, and it results in a long touchdown run by Schiller, and the soccer kicker experience for Jamison Dagan comes in there and gets us the extra point. Great hold there as well by Danzizen, Braden Danzizen, number 21, the 5'11 freshman for us, and he's a guy where if it's not a perfect snap, he can go make a play for you. He can go make a pass or maybe take that thing to the end zone as well. So they got a good setup there as well.
You're probably wondering why that name Danzizen sounds familiar. Well, if you're not familiar with Sioux Valley's older brother, Damian Danzizen was a starter last year with the Kazakhs, and they went to the state championship game, and has been an integral part of that basketball program the last couple of years, and a rotational role, and has had a lot of different roles and has excelled in them. And his younger brother is looking to hopefully follow in his steps the next couple of years. Kicking off the Kazakhs will be Deegan, and again following that big run by Schiller. Kazakhs kicked it off to start the game. Sisseton went 3 and out, punted away, and the Kazakhs, after 4 plays, made it pay, and they take a 7-0 lead. Squib here by the Kazakhs. Deegan running it back will be the big man for Sisseton, number 5, I believe that was. Not sure who was returning here. We'll get a replay here from up here in the booth. The Lance trucking replay. Ball will be started though on 1st and 10 for the Redmen from the 39-yard line of Sisseton. What's the keys to this drive of your season? You got to get something here. You got the ball, didn't do anything with it. Sioux Valley scores quick. Now you need to respond.
I feel like we got to see their run game early on, but they're in that spread set again right away.
Trips left, 2 receivers right, empty set here for number 2, Ethan Spigler, the junior quarterback. He sets back, quick screen out right to number 35, Micah Ham. The usually sure-handed player, it's just the guy that relied a lot on an offense here last week, Micah Ham and Nate Sheeta. Ham dropped it there, which looked to be, I see what they're doing here. They're trying to get Sioux Valley speed and make that almost a weapon against them, spread them out, make Sioux Valley open field tackle well.
Yeah, he might have had some space over there, but only because we kind of slipped up on the ground there. I think we had Rose over there and Christensen and Schiller, so even if he was going to get some yards, they were going to run him down and make that play. But some of these passes, too, have been borderline lateral passes.
2nd down and 10 to Spigler. Heaves it out left side to the big tight end, number 14, Jason Fisher, standing at 6'4", 185 pounds. They threw kind of a jump ball left to him, and Diamond Rose in coverage there, one of the shortest Kazakhs in the field, and he played it well. Ball was thrown a little high, though. It went out of bounds. It'll bring up a 3rd down here. Interesting. We've not seen a run here yet. We've seen 5 or 6 plays out of Sisseton and Redmond team that we've known to run the ball a lot, and they've not run it once yet.
Yeah, and Sioux Valley with a lot of subs there jogging onto the field in the 3rd and long. They like to go a little quicker here and have a little different coverage in when it is a 3rd and long, and it paid off for them a week ago for Coach Fass's defense.
Keep an eye on number 32, Wyatt Hockett, playing D-tackle here for the Kazakhs here, a lighter player, kind of that quicker jet D-tackle. Here we go, 3rd down and 10 from the 39-yard line of Sisseton. To Spigler, sets back, pump fakes, goes across the middle to number 35, Micah Ham, and another drop here for the senior, which would have probably brought him close to a 1st down there. Nice ball there by this Spigler, and it's going to bring up another punt formation here for Sisseton, and a couple missed opportunities for the Redmen.
Yeah, are they hearing footsteps coming at them, or kind of dropping those passes that seem to be right there on some of those swing passes, and that one across the middle? All of those would have gone for yards, whether big plays or not, but would have been some gains for them.
Kazakhs have a 7-0 lead, forcing a punt on defense over the Redmen. Back to punt for the Redmen will be number 14, Jason Fisher. Snap is high, kick is up, and it's going to be a low rolling punt here down to the 20, down to the 15, down to the 10, rolling past the 5, almost down to the 3-yard line, make that the 4-yard line, and that's going to be another excellent punt here by Jason Fisher, and that's where the Kazakh offense is going to start down at the 4.
Yeah, 2nd punt of the night that kind of gets by Brock Christofferson. At the same time, you might be playing it safe, not want to bobble that or make a plan. He's the guy that's down there, and the coaches are coaching them up on how he wants him to field that. But it backs him up against the goal line here inside the 5, and Sisseton needs to come up with a defensive play to kind of get some momentum and get some energy into their football team.
Here we go, 1st down and 10 for the Kazakhs from the 4-yard line of Sioux Valley. Following the punt by Sisseton. Christensen Hands off. Power here to number 10, Leap. She breaks one arm tackle right at the line of scrimmage after initial contact, runs through it, gains close to 5, maybe 6 yards to bring up a second down now and short. And this is where it's interesting. Whenever you're getting these second down and 5 or less, there's a lot of things you could do. It's very flexible. You can go play action here. You can do a lot of things in that second and short because you know you're going to have that third short most likely coming up. How does Sioux Valley play this? Third down, make that second down now and 1. It was less than 5, second down and 1. Christensen out of the shotgun. Can be a dive play here again to Leaf. Leaf finding some space, kicks it out to the 20-yard line, knocked it about at the 21. First down, and a gain of close to 7 here for Lane Leaps, the senior running back for Sioux Valley. We really seen him carry the ball more here in the first quarter than we saw in the whole first half last week.
Yeah, and again, probably part of game plan, especially when you see it this early. There's someone that they know they want to get some touches early and often here.
Here we go. First and 10 for Sioux Valley from the 21-yard line of the Kazakhs. Christensen under center. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Rose going right to left. It's going to be a sweep right. Make that left to Rose. Rose has blockers out in front of him. Leaps is in front of him. Rose breaks space. 40, 45, knocked out of bounds at the 48-yard line is Donnie Rose, the speedster on that jet sweep. You saw him have some big runs last week off that. Sioux Valley scored earlier on a similar style play, and now driving Rose, finding those spaces on the edge, creases it for a first down and 10. Kazakhs moving well.
They are. You like to see this, and you get the clock moving, and you can get some nice plays right away.
Here we go. First down and 10 from the Kazakh 47. Christensen going from shotgun now under center. I formation. Massive changes here for the Kazakh offense. Power formation. Schiller. I formation up top. Hands off to Schiller. Power right. He runs through one arm tackle. Still churning. Knocked down right around the 46-yard line of the Sisseton Redmond. Now if you're a Redmond fan, you've had 2 possessions on offense, 2 punts. Punts have been good punts. They've given your defense a chance to have a lot of breathing room, and you've not taken advantage of that. Now it's second down and less than 5 from your own side of the field. You need a play, and you need it now.
Yeah, early on it's looking like it's going to be a struggle defensively for Sisseton to slow down the Sioux Valley offense.
Christensen under center. I formation again. Rusing motioning out right now up in the 2-point stance. Don Rose off the left tackle. It motions out right side. It's going to be a sweep to Don Rose. Same play as earlier. He has space. 40, 30. Still fighting. Knocked out the 25-yard line is Donovan Rose. And this offense continues to pick up yardage in massive amounts. Rarely do they not get a first down to carry this drive, and they're threatening again.
And that's big Jason Fisher, number 14, the 6'4", 185-pound junior that finally brings him down.
He looks good for his age. He's only
active, right? Yeah,
very active. Punts has a receiving threat for them. Had a good game last week, and now playing some free safety for them right now.
Just a real nice junior class here for Sisseton and their new head coach Gene Gibson to build upon. Not a lot of seniors out. I think they said maybe 4 total, but a nice junior class.
First and 10 from the Kazakh 25. Make the decision in 25 Kazakh ball. Going to be a power up the middle, and Leap just knocked back for a loss of maybe 2 if forward momentum is there. And there's the first negative play for the night for the Kazakhs. And Sisseton finding some positive plays.
Any games out there around the area that you're interested in this week? I got the Howard Canastota game kind of on my radar, a little bit of something I'm excited about.
Obviously, Brookie's kicked off tonight. They're kicking off against the rival Watertown at home, and there's a lot of questions to be answered for both of those programs going into this year. I'm interested to see how that game goes as we dive deeper into the night. We'll get to more on that coming up. Second down and 10 from the Sisseton 25. Going to be a sweep play out left to Leach. Leach has some space here. 20, 15, tries to make a move. Still running. 10, 5, knocked down at close to the 1-yard line will be Lane Leach. Kazakhs utilizing almost every weapon they have on offense right now. Everyone's getting a lot of touches here, and it's working. Kazakhs threatening from the 1-yard line once again.
Yeah, spreading the ball around. Another game of interest would be DeSmet and Del Rapids St. Mary's.
How does DeSmet respond after a season-opening shocking loss? And Del Rapids St. Mary's coach Flemmer won a championship last year. They're always well coached, and they are once again a team that is to be on the watch out for this year in 9-man football. Here we go, first down and goal from the 1-yard line. Power formation here for the Kazakhs. Christensen hands off right to Rose. Rose bobbled the ball, gets knocked down big time behind the line of scrimmage. There was a little bit miscommunication on the exchange there. Looked like Rose bobbled it a little bit, picked it up though, and as he picked it up, he got decked, and it's going to be a timeout here, I believe, for the Kazakhs, as Dan Hughes is not happy with the execution there. This is B93.7, home of the Cossack Sports Network. This is Cash. On my right, Bill Vincent. Stay with us here as we take a quick 60-second break.
Every day you share personal information about yourself with others. You may write a check, charge fuel, rent a car, mail your tax returns, schedule a doctor's appointment, or post something on social media. Each transaction may share some sort of personal information, such as bank and credit card account numbers, social security number, name, address, or phone number. There are unscrupulous individuals, identity thieves, targeting these routine transactions, trying to gain your information to commit fraud. If you think somebody has stolen your identity, contact Consumer Protection at 1-800-300-1986.
Hi, this is Sheriff Marty Stanek wishing the Cossacks the best of luck in tonight's game. Leadership is the backbone to a great outcome. You have the leadership and you have the great fan base cheering you on tonight. I look forward to continuing on with that great leadership Brookings County has had the last 23 years. I am humbled and grateful for your support to re-elect Marty Stanwyck for sheriff. Our family is wishing the Cossacks a fun and exciting game. Go Cossacks!
Paid for by re-elect Marty Stanwyck for sheriff.
Welcome back here to B93.7, home of the Cossack Sports Network. I'm Cash. To my right is Bill Vincent. And the Cossacks here have jumped out to a quick 7-0 lead, make that 14-0 as we got back here out of the commercial break. They did a quick little pass sweep out right to Don Rose. He takes it in for 6 points, and the Cossacks lead 13-0. Again, I want to welcome you to B93.7, home of the Cossack Sports Network. Our presenting sponsor tonight is the South Dakota Soybean Processors, and we're going to get to quick here in a little bit to the Bankstar Financial Scoreboard as we get to some local scores around the area.
On comes Ryder Vanderwall.
Vanderwall for the snap, holding Danzizen, kick is up by Deegan.
Off the upright.
And no good. Ball is a little low in the snap there. Danzizen didn't get full control of it. And the Cossacks will remain 13-0. Quick start for the Cossacks.
Yeah, that touchdown score there was just getting Rose some space, swung him out here, a little swing pass out to him, a couple lead blockers there, and Sioux Valley's just going to win that battle, especially tonight.
With 4:55 to go here in the first quarter, the Cossacks have jumped out to a 13-0 lead, led by stifling defense, dominant offense, and it's been all runs here for the Cossacks as of right now. And uncharacteristically for the Sisseton Redmond, it's been all passes pretty much. It's been a very strange game plan here, but I know what they're trying to do. But it almost feels like, and I don't know if you agree with me on this, Bill, it almost feels like when you're on the road, you're an underdog, you've struggled to find wins the last couple of years, you want to establish the line of scrimmage and running the ball right away.
Yeah, that's what you would think, and they're thinking that we're going to take our big play. We got a couple things we've seen on film. Maybe we get a big play that helps us out. And, of course, we're saying uncharacteristic. What do we know are characteristics of Gene Gibson in his second high school football game in Sisseton? And it's not like we watched Sisseton play last week.
Valid point.
They do have the value of an extra day to get ready. We played on Thursday night. They might have got to see the Cossacks live. Some of those things may factor in and help them a little bit here, but especially defensively, it looks like it could be a long night for Sisseton.
Kickoff by Deegan, rolling punt down to the 20-yard line, picked up here by number 8, being a Levante Carter. He spins out of one tackle, brings it up to close to the 27-yard line. That's where he's knocked down. That's where the Sisseton Redmond offense is going to go back to work, and I would imagine we're going to see some runs this drive.
Yeah, and Levante Carney, it's good to see him touch the ball out there on the special teams. He's a young, athletic kid that they're very excited about, the 6-foot freshman wearing number 8 tonight.
He's out in kick return earlier. He's done a lot of things for the Sisseton Redmond tonight. He's had to wear a lot of hats. He's on offense as a receiver sometimes, as a running back, and I'm interested to see where they continue to utilize his speed. Sisseton comes out here, empty set again, trips right, 2 receivers left, spread out. This Cossack defense has gone man-to-man. Jet motion out right side, will do to number 3, Nate Sheeta. Ball was fumbled on the exchange here, pitch was a little far.
I believe Sioux Valley may have come up with it.
Sheeta bobbled the ball, and it looks like Sioux Valley might come up with it. We'll see what the refs say. They're going to... And they'll say Sisseton did recover the ball.
That'll be Sisseton ball with handy assistance from my Vortex binoculars up here.
It's hunting binoculars. What you don't know about Bill Vincent, he's actually an avid hunter. Something I did not know. Man of many talents.
That might cut into some of these Friday nights, Cash.
Second down and 22 from the Cossack 18. Cossacks lead 14, make that 13-0 here. 4 to go, first quarter. Out of the shotgun will be to Spigler. To his right is Ham and Sheeta. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Ball's bobbled on the snap, and they're going to blow it dead. I believe that play was dead before it even began.
Just really seeing a lack of confidence now, right? With the bobbling of the ball, the dropped passes, the missed snaps and things now, that this is a Sisseton team that lost their confidence early on in this one.
Yeah, there was a timeout call before that play even started, and the ref was trying to blow his whistle. It looked like it couldn't get to go. But, yeah, if this is a good timeout by head coach Gene Gibson. You started out well in terms of good, clean snaps, no penalties, and then a couple of things went wrong, and now their tires are starting to kind of spin. We've got to find a way to reevaluate yourself.
This might be one of the hardest working sideline long snappers in the high school ranks right over here. Ryder Vanderwall still getting some snaps in. Good to see the crowd that's here tonight, including up here on the curve over by the ambulance. We've got the Cadwell family, the Sanimas, the Nielsen's in on taking in tonight's game. Good setup over there for those people.
We have a lot of people on the track. Over here to the far right here by the school, I think we got Mr. Rusink's dad and his mom and their family over there. We got a giant crowd here tonight to watch this game between...
Fun crew here on Adam Sandler night. For that's the theme night for the Cossack Crazies.
Honoring a great man, a living legend in America, and a pillar of American history, Adam Sandler.
How about this cheerleading crew down here? Have you had a chance to kind of run through our cheerleading crew yet this year?
We're going to go actually through that in the next break and go over what's to preview them, what's coming up next after a great debut they had here last week. To Spigler out of shotgun, second down and 10, make that third down and 26, throw deep right side, make that left side to number 14, Jason Fisher, and it's caught for a first down and then some by Jason Fisher, a 6'4", 185-pound jump ball there by number 3 to Spigler to Fisher is good, and a big play out of the timeout.
Yeah, and that's something Sisseton's really wanted to go to. Is that the third chance? They've taken a look at that. You know, he's a big target. He's 6'4", 185 pounds. He can team up with fellow junior Ethan Spigler, and that'll be a combination for the remainder of the year. Heading into next season, that Sisseton Redmond fans will be excited about.
First down and 10 from the Sisseton 46. Cossack lead 13-0. Sisseton ball, though, after a momentum-changing first down. To Spigler, out of the shotgun, Ham and sheeted to his right and left. A deep ball heaved once again to the freshman, number 18, to make that number 8, Levante Carter. Ball was underthrown, he had to come back to it. He had a chance at the ball, but playing defense there for the Cossacks was number 3, Caleb Murphy, and he broke it up and kind of forced the body contortion of number 8, Carter, and ball was incomplete.
Yeah, you know, it's good to see. I'm sure Sisseton fans are liking this, to see the spread. You know, when Sisseton had their success years back, it was as wide open of an offense as South Dakota had in 11-man football. During a stretch there with some great players, some of them that went on to the college level. Seemed like they always had a powerful quarterback back there that could put the ball out to a lot of receivers, and they're kind of back into that setup here tonight.
Second down and 10 from the 46 of Sisseton. There we go. 4 receivers right, single receiver left. They do a motion from right to left to number 3, Nate Sheeta, and once again he has trouble getting that ball off the pitch there, and some frustration and some miscommunication on some of these pitches and handoffs, which is surprising because that's usually the easier thing to do than passing.
You know, and some of that just goes along with confidence. You know, those are just bobbled. Those are plays that Cheetah wants to be able to make.
Third down at 15 from the Cossack 41. Make that the Sisseton 41. Sisseton football here. 13-0 lead for the Cossacks with under 3 to go here. This is B93.7, home of the Cossack Sports Network. I'm Cash. Tim Moretz, Bill Vincent back in studio is John. Third down and long for the Cossacks. Make that Redmond. The Spigler steps back, has time, fires across the middle, and was intended for Javante Carter, and finding it for him with it was number 23, Brock Christopherson, colliding, and it was going to be ruled an incomplete pass. I know some Sisseton fans in front of me wanted to pass interference, early contact, but they will not give it to him. It will bring up now a 4th down and long for the Redmond, and once again, a punt formation looks like it's coming up.
That's a tough play to make around Brock Christopherson because you know you're going to take a hit, and once in a while there might be a flag on it, but Brock's just not going to let you get that clean catch.
Back to punt will be number 14, Jason Fisher. Looked like, I would say, keep an eye out for the fake here. They know their defense is struggling. They might try to do something here, I would imagine. We'll see what they do. Fisher to punt. Sioux Valley's not rushing. They're going to opt to try to get a return out of this one. Feeling it will be Christopherson. The ball's rolling backwards, though he tries to pick it up right around the 10-yard line. He does. Makes a move left. Makes one man miss. He has some space here. Chased from behind and knocked down from behind by number 63, Mason Schultz. And that's where the Cossack offense is going to start. Really small, minor thing here, Bill. But Pretty impressive punt here by number 14, Jason Fisher.
Yes, and have had the ball kind of roll their way when it hits the grass. It's bouncing Sisseton's way, and we have to make decisions. Are we fielding that or not fielding that? And that one might have been a little bit in the back of your mind. Oh, ball rolled down to the 3-yard line last time. I'm going to go run this one down and pick it up. But sometimes that can be dangerous, and you can take a hit as you're scooping it up.
Got to pick your poison if you're a Kazakh returner. First down and 10 from the Kazakh, 27-4. Your Kazakhs leading 13-0. Christensen under center. Rose going left to right. Going to be a dive play here to Leapsh. Leapsh finds some space here, squirts out to right around the 35. Make that the 37-yard line. And good running here by Leapsh tonight. It's had more of a focal point of offense, him and Rose tonight. Curious to see when Kazakh's offense will start to include Brock Kristofferson and Rusik, who had a big night last week, and then also Jackson Schiller, kind of an embarrassment of riches here at the skill positions.
Yeah, just so many weapons that they can pick from there, and even some of these guys running plays in and out for the Cossacks as well, all capable of making plays.
Second and 1, Christensen takes his first pass of the game. It's deep, and it's knocked away there by number 14, Jason Fisher. He had to step on, Schiller had to step on Fisher, and Kristofferson undershot him. So now it's going to bring up here a second down and 1. Good play call there by this offensive staff of Dan Hughes and Cherry Bachman and several others there. Taking a shot there, letting Christensen's arm kind of get some confidence behind it.
Yeah, it'll be Garrett Nelson running the play in this time. I think it was Skylar Trigstad the time before that we saw hustle off, and Guth Miller. So those kind of the guys that we're using to bring plays in and off when we need to.
Third down and 1 from the Kazakh 36. Minute 50 to go here, first quarter. It's going to be a dive play here to, I believe it was Leapsh. And it'll bring up a first down and 10 for the Kazakhs, whose offense continues to kind of churn its way down the field methodically. In the first couple of drives they scored now was led by the rushing attack, and this drive continues to show that.
How about the up front guys of this Cossack line? There I was watching Preston Top on that play. Just working hard out there, Preston Top, Aiden Brower, Chris Hornick, Austin Siegel, and the guys up front doing a lot of work for these Cossacks.
A beleaguered line that last week kind of got some flack for not having their best game, and they've showed up tonight so far. First and 10 for the Kazakhs from their own 38. It's going to be a sweep play out to the right side for Rose. Leapsh leading the way, and Rose gets a little aggressive there. Doesn't allow his blocks to sit up, trying to take advantage of that sideline and ride the sideline, or tightrope it, if you will. And he picks up another first and 10. Could have been more, though, maybe, if he would have allowed those blocks to set up and maybe cut it back. But nonetheless, they have Sioux Valley, if anything they put on film with Rose, it's usually involving a sweep or a jet.
Last week, he was really patient, kind of made some reads there. And here, I think the excitement of, I think I can just turn this and get to the house, and they were able to close out on it. But I'm just really impressed with Jace Christensen at running the show here last week and this week. Yeah,
he's come out well. His first 2 starts in varsity of his career, and has really managed his offense well. Be a dive play here to number 10, Lane Leapsh, the patient runner so far tonight. He's found a couple of big holes, and he's really willing to kind of sit behind that line and let them guide him. And a short gain there of only 1 or maybe 2, and the Kazakh offense will bring up now a second down and close to 9 from the 47 of Sisseton. Christensen coming out under center here. Behind him will be Leapsh. To his left, off the left tackle will be Schiller. Off the right side will be Rose. Far left now, it looks to be number 11 for the Kazakhs, making that Skylar Trigstad. Christensen. Motion's going to be reversed here to Don Rose. It's going to be an illegal formation.
Flag.
See how this play comes here. Rose makes one man miss, cuts it back up to the 40, makes another man miss, and falls at the 41. I believe that's an illegal formation, though. We cannot have 2 receivers or 2 ball carriers for the Kazakhs moving at the line of scrimmage at the same time.
And Skylar Trigstad out there just really working hard to it, finding his downfield block that's going to help the next guy spring the next play.
Yeah, but that play was, if you're wondering what I mean by that illegal formation, you had Rose off the left tackle, or make that right tackle hip, and then Schiller off the left side, and they both motioned at the same time as the play went away. You're not allowed to motion more than one guy at the same time when they're both on the line. And it'll be a second down and 13 after a loss of 5. So second down and 13 from the 49 of Sioux Valley now. First negative, or make that second negative play of the night for Sioux Valley. Christensen out of the shotgun. 2 receivers split out right. 1 receiver split out left.
Is this where, you sneak in a look at Rusink?
We'll see here. Motion man goes Rose back out left to right. It's going to be a quarterback read here. Christensen fakes it to Rose. He carries it himself. He breaks 1 tackle. 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Stumbling.
He's in.
Touchdown.
He's in. He's in.
Christensen on the option play there could have handed off the
official sign. Are they going to call that at about the foot line?
Looks like they might. We might have got a little premature on my side.
Did you see Schiller get down there looking for that extra block to try to get his buddy into the end zone?
It'll be a first there, will not be a touchdown, but Christensen had the opportunity to hand it off to Rose on that jet sweep, which typically he's very selfish. He decides to keep it there after after reading the Sisseton linebackers flowing so hard trying to contain that edge on Rose. Christensen took it himself and made a couple of men miss, and deceptive speed, Bill Vincent.
End of the first, by the way. That will bring our first quarter to a close. But yeah, he's a guy that has a little good change of pace, and you'll see that in basketball season this winter as well.
I was really impressed with this speed there. Jace Christensen, an impressive kid. Hey, we got to get to a quick break. This is B93.7, home of the Kazakh Sports Network. I'm Cash. To my right, Bill Vincent. This is your home of all Sioux Valley Kazakh sports. Kazakhs lead here at the end of one, 13-0, threatening again. When we come back, second quarter action here live from Kazakh Field. Stay with us here on B93.7, back in 30 seconds or less.
To find out how active heating can help you with seasonal allergies along with other respiratory illnesses, give us a call today. We have helped hundreds of people who suffer from allergies and asthma breathe easier and feel better. The consultation is free and the relief is priceless. Call Active Heating today to schedule an appointment. Active Heating, with locations in Watertown and Brookings, is your indoor air quality expert.
Welcome back here to B93.7, home of the Kazakh Sports Network. At the end of one, the Kazakhs lead 13-0. Real quickly here, I want to get to a note on our competitive cheer team. They had their their preview show last week. They have their first competition, if you will, this Tuesday night in Watertown, starting at 5 p.m. for that cheer team that's won, a million back-to-back titles.
They have very fun to watch. We get an opportunity every year to see them perform. Before they go off to state, they put on a performance, a pep rally, if you will, in front of the student section, and it's really good to see. But when you get to see them live, which our cross-country team has been fortunate enough some years where it lines up, we're both in Rapid City, and you get to see them against their competition, then you truly see just how good they are.
Kazakhs here at the end of one, lead 13-0, make that the beginning of two here. They're threatening again from the 1 yard line. Christensen, quarterback keeper, and he's going to fall forward, and it's going to be a touchdown, Sioux Valley. Coach Hughes wanted to award the junior quarterback after a great play to end the first quarter on that read. He brought it down to the 1 yard line. They didn't quite give him the touchdown to fall forward, but he makes up for it now with a quarterback sneak touchdown. Kazakhs, they lead 19-0.
Yeah, I always love that. Reward the guy that made the big play that got you down there, and in that case, it's a little bit easier when he's your quarterback as well, and you got a good line and a good center to go behind. And Chris Hornick, the 190-pound, 6-foot junior. You hear juniors, you hear freshmen. This line will be back for a few years. We'll lose Brower. Brower will go out the door, and Preston Vanderwall as their seniors.
Going for two will be Sioux Valley. Donovan Rose off the stretch play here, reverse.
Gets it.
Rhino. I believe that play's called Rhino.
The Faro official coming in with the call right away on that, giving the 2-point conversion to Rose.
Kazakhs' 2-point conversion is good. They lead 21-0 here with 11:56 to go here in the first half. If you're just joining us, we want to welcome you into B93.7, your home of Kazakh sports, whether it's basketball, football, you name it, we cover it here on B93.7. Make sure to join me during basketball season for Sioux Valley basketball, men's and women's, as they both make their attempts to try to make a run back to a state tournament and more.
Yeah, you mentioned the competitive cheer team had their showcase on Thursday night. On Tuesday night, the volleyball team got their first match of the year in against Dual, a 3-1 win up in Clear Lake. Sioux Valley won the first two sets, each by a score of 25-14. Dual took the third one that could have went either way, 25-23, and then the Cossacks closed it out 25-17. Addison Wrinkley led the Cossacks with 12 kills, 18 digs, 6 aces, and 4.5 blocks. Caden Sapp, 11 kills, 15 digs. Sonny Hesby, Ashley Berkey each had 17 assists. Allie Hofer, 9 kills. Talia Vincent, 15 digs. Kira Cruz had 2 blocks, and Jada Knutson, 2.5 blocks, as the Cossacks got a season-opening win at Clear Lake in volleyball on Tuesday night.
Phenomenal starting for a lot of Kazakh sports. Kazakh cross country, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. They had a good day today. They won their meet over the likes of Brookings and some other larger schools. Back to kick for the Kazakhs will be Deegan. Kazakhs lead 21-0. Deegan. Kick is up. Short kick kind of scooped to the middle of the field. It's bobbled there by number 8.
The freshman.
Levante Carter, his second or third bobble of the game. He's going to get knocked down at close to the 10-yard line by the Sioux Valley special teamers as Sisseton kind of looks shocked there. as they once again their offense will start in negative field position.
Yeah, they just need to find some confidence, take care of the bobbles, and maybe that's something you see in a little bit of a younger team, a team under the direction of a new coach. But the pieces are here to build something with a junior class like that and a freshman like Levante
Carter.
Correct.
Even though he struggled tonight, he's had some good plays that have been impressive. Here we go. First down and 10 for the Kazakhs from their own 15. 11:46 to go here in the first quarter. Now the shotgun will be to Spigler. 2 receivers split out left. 3 receivers split out right. The Spigler empty set here. Kazakhs shifting their line now. Spigler looks left. Snap is back. Quick pass out the right side to number 3 here, Nate Sheeta. And they're wanting to get these little one-on-one matchups here, and Spigler's just got to sit and be a little more patient. He's trying to throw the ball rather quick instead of letting those routes develop. And they have these one-on-one matchups, and eventually you're going to see it hit. It hit earlier with Jason Harris. If you're a Sisseton fan, you got to just be patient and ride this out.
Well, you can tell why we're up here, Cash. We spend the pregame talking about the running game of the Sisseton Redmen, and I don't know if they've handed the ball off yet.
It's crazy.
You know, it's been spread. I guess they have had some stuff out of that spread set, but it's been all pass here. And, you know, I see some things that they're looking at. We're just another little split second for them to make the play, and there would have been a big game there.
Here we go to Spigler, second down and 10 from the zone 15. Going to be a handoff here, too. I believe that's Sheeta. And not much of anything there. It'll be maybe a gain of a half yard, if that. And it's going to bring him now a third down and 10. And the Kazakh substitutions here come in hot and heavy. Third down and 10 for the Redmen from the Kazakh 15. Make that the Redmen 15. 11:20 to go here first half.
Yeah, what was that? An opportunity there to see Luke Lemke and Braden Larson defensively for the Cossacks.
I want to give a quick shout out here to John Hauge, Mr. Reba himself, Mr. Ivan last year. He's pacing the sidelines, taking stats, and looking awful good doing it.
He's been doing that for years. A nice job. Good to have someone that does that and does that year in and year out for the consistency. Him and Steve Schwartz doing their work on the clipboards for us. And just a few weeks remaining here in his run as Ivan the Cossack before he'll have to give that crown over to the next local who gets that honor.
Third down and 10 there. Quick screen off the right side to number 14, Jason Fisher. And Don Rose active in that defensive back row there. He got burnt earlier by Harris, but so far Don Rose has had the upper hand on the bigger receiver for the Redmen. He breaks it up about fourth down and 10, and the Kazakhs make that the Redmen, are going to punt the ball from their own 10-yard line. Snap is back. Harris, big boot here, high rolling, shorter kick out to the 40-yard line. Takes a Sioux Valley bounce down to the make that 38, and that's where Sioux Valley is going to take the ball. That's the best offensive starting field position of the day for Sioux Valley, and we'll see what they can do with it.
Is that the fourth time already that we've seen the Sisseton punt team and the Cossacks? All of their touches have resulted in points. The Schiller run early on made it 6-0. We had the Christensen to Rose connection, and we had Jace Christensen long run, then the dive in with the Rose 2-point conversion. And we've seen 3 Sisseton punts.
Kazakhs lead here 21-0. 10:53 to go first half. Christensen, pass all right, quick screen, Rose, left side, has a blocker in. Schiller, Rose's speed can take advantage of it here. Down to the 20, 15, knocked out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Will be Donovan Rose. And it's been the Rose show so far here in the second quarter. Or I said the end of the first quarter going into this second quarter. He's gotten a lot of the majority of the looks on offense outside of the Jace Christensen big run and touchdown sneak. They're going to have another first down and 10 here for the Kazakhs from the 16-yard line of Sisseton.
And these blockers that are getting over here looking for the downfield blocks, Rusink that time, Schiller, those guys out here looking for that next thing to spring their buddies to the end zone.
Christensen under center for Sioux Valley. Rose going left to right. Going to be a handoff here to Christopherson. His first touchdown. He cuts it back across the field. Now down to the 8-yard line will be Christopherson, and I want to make point here. Schiller was blocking downfield there, and he put. You saw that too.
Yeah.
He put someone, I believe that's Harris, on his back in the middle of the end zone by himself there.
And then scooped him up.
And then picked him
pat him up, say, hey, we're playing high school football here. But yeah, he's looking for his blocks. That's for sure. You see the hustle off there by Trigstead and Nelson hustling on with the play.
Second down 2 from the Sisseton 8-yard line. Christensen under center. Christopherson in the backfield as well as Schiller. I formation here, power formation here. Everyone on the line of scrimmage or on near the line of scrimmage. Going to be a dive here, play off the left side to Christopherson. Make that Schiller. He dives forward, and it's going to be touchdown, Kazakhs. An 8-yard run here for Schiller, his second touchdown of the game, and kind of that misdirection play. We see everyone kind of going right, then he goes back left there, and Kazakhs take advantage here of the field position, and they put it in again. 27-0 lead for the Kazakhs.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're back to the extra point team now. After getting the 2-point conversion last time, putting on those multiples of 7.
Back to kick will be Deegan. He misses one earlier. He's 1 for 2. Holding will be Dan Ziesen. Snap is back. Clean snap. Clean hold. Kick up. And kick will be good.
And credit Ryder Vanderwall there with the excellent snap.
Kazakhs leading here 28-0. 9:56 to go here in the first half. Dominant first half here by the Kazakhs. It's been left very little positive light here for the Redmen, and when there has been a positive play, the Kazakhs have responded well and snuffed it out. Midway here through the first half, the Kazakhs have, like I said, jumped out to a 28-0 lead. This is B93.7, home of the Kazakh Sports Network. This is Castro, right? Bill Vincent. We're going to send it back to the studio for a quick 30-second break. When we come back, score updates from across the region. Stay with us here on B93.7, back in 30 seconds.
The Valley Mart in Volga is a local and family-owned convenience store and gas station. They have a large selection of drinks and snacks, 24-hour gas pumps, bait for fishing, and grab-and-go food. If you don't feel like cooking tonight, call in and order their delicious thin-crust pizzas. The Valley Mart in Volga has everything you need and is located across from the soybean processing plant, and they're proud supporters of Sioux Valley Athletics.
Welcome back here to B93.7, your home of the Sioux Valley Kazakh Sports Network. To my right is Bill Vincent. I'm here in Sioux Valley at the Cotton Sports Complex here at Kazakh Field. Beautiful night for football as the sun sets to my back, right to the, it rises in the east, sets in the west, and it's a beautiful sunset here. No clouds in the sky. A beautiful night here for some fall football. The Kazakhs 1-0 against the Sisseton Redmen, who are also 1-0, and the Kazakhs have shown why they are a dominant team to start this year so far. They lead 28-0 with still 9:56 to go here in the first half. I guess, Bill, as we get ready to kick it off here, what's been your thoughts in this first half?
Boy, it's probably been a lot of what we expected, that Sioux Valley was going to be able to get a lot of what they wanted offensively. Maybe we thought there'd be something that we'd see out of the Sisseton offense, and there's some things there. They just haven't been able to connect for the big play or a play that might turn into a scoring drive for them. But defensively, going to be a struggle for Sisseton to slow down this Cossack offense.
Kazakhs leading here 28-0, 9:56 to go here in the first half.
Bobcats in Watertown.
Yep.
0-0 after 1. Is that what I saw come through? I believe. Or maybe late in the first quarter there. What did you think when the scores came out last week? Who were you surprised of? I was surprised of Aberdeen Roncalli and the route that they did over Groton, and they're up 14-0 early on Dual already.
I was surprised, something that's probably not a very impressive surprise here. I was surprised in the DeSmet-Castlewood game. Castlewood upset DeSmet.
Yeah, see, and I wasn't that surprised in that. I know the tools that Castlewood has. I just think that was a tough draw for both those teams. Have to go out and play each other right off the bat. I like both of them in their respective classes at being able to be successful.
First play here for the Redmen was a -1. Sacked in the play was Spigler, and it's going to bring it now a second down and 25 from the 5-yard line of Sisseton. And Sisseton has been behind the sticks 95% of their plays today so far, and it's shown in the scoring column.
Does this score surprise you at all? Flandreau, 6. Bridgewater and Ethan, 6.
Wow. What quarter?
In the first. It's early, obviously, but 6-6 there.
It's impressive Flandreau scored that early. Here we go, second down and 10 to Spigler. A second down and 20, I should say, make that 25 to Spigler. Rolls right, has time there, trying to find a play downfield. Nothing doing, though. Wisely, very wisely throws it away there is to Spigler, so it's going to be now a third down and 25 from the Sisseton 5-yard line. Now, if you're Sisseton here, they talk about not compounding problems. If you're Sisseton, you're down this much, there's still a lot of time left to go in the half. You're going to get the ball after halftime. Do you just take this thing here and excuse me, you don't get the ball. You have to kick it off after half. Do you just take this thing and let it dry and try to get more room to punt, or what do you do here? Yeah,
you're going to need some room for your punting game, so things don't compound and get even worse here. You're at 8:58, and of course we know how Sioux Valley closes second quarters and heads into half times.
This big right of the shotgun. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Running back in the backfield is Sheeta. Spigler steps back, pressured by Leach. Tries to throw it out left to Sheeta. He gets the ball out to Sheeta. He runs hard, and we'll get back to the line of scrimmage there. Heady play there by Spigler with Leach playing on the A gap there right into his face. So Leach coming from that linebacker position right at the middle, untouched. And Spigler made a heady play.
Yeah, coach fast defense, just hungry there on those last two plays, trying to come up with the defensive safety. I see Garrett Nelson here, and now he's talking to Jody. Looked like he came off kind of tapping on the top of the helmet, but could just be some exhaustion as well. You're getting hot underneath those helmets here tonight.
Glad to see he's back today too.
Yes.
4th down and 25 here for Sisseton from their own 5-yard line. Clock ticks under 8 minutes to go in the first half, and they're going to punt Harris. Low rolling punt out to the 40-yard line of Sioux Valley, and it's going to be knocked down to the 41-yard line by number 8, Levante Carter. His name's come up quite a bit tonight, and it's going to bring up a Sioux Valley Cossack offensive possession here. Dominant showing. We talked about the whole half by this Cossack offense. The defense for Sioux Valley has played well too.
Yeah, they've been outstanding, especially maybe having to cover a few more passes than they expected, but you and I expected. Maybe our coaches down there had a sense that was coming at them, but that was punt number 5 for the Sisseton Redmen.
Cossacks lead here 28-0, 8 to go, first half, and the Cossacks are once again in Sisseton side of the field at the 41-yard line of the Redmen. Christensen out of the shotgun, motion man going left to right will be number 32, Hockett. Option play here by Christensen, ran with Leach. Leach makes a cutback, nice move by Leach, down to the 20, makes a move again by Harris, spins, down to the 15, knocked out of the 12-yard line, will be Lane Leach there. Christensen operating that option play with the deftness and an experience of a veteran, and the Cossacks pick up a huge play.
Yeah, number 5 for Sisseton. Mason Herzog coming up a little limp there, a little slow. Maybe the wrist or elbow there, getting up slow after that play along the sideline.
Cossacks lead at 28-0, 7:55 to go here in the first half of a beautiful night here in the Sioux Valley Volga area, I should say. First and 10 for the Sisseton 11-yard line. Christensen out of the shotgun. 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left is Hockett. Backfield is Leach. Christensen steps back, flips the card, a quick pass to the right side to number 11, being number 11 Trigstead, and he makes one man miss, knocks it down close to, I believe, the we'll see where the sticks put it at. The
bring up second down.
7-yard line looks to be.
Far chain crew, right down there by the goal line. Is that Janitor D? Is that Derek?
That is Janitor Derek. Let me take a look here.
Take a look in the vortex. I think that's D down there. Standing proud, tall and proud down there, running the chain gang.
Second down at 6 in the 7-yard line. Christensen out of the shotgun. Motion man is Hockett. Same play again. Option play goes back to Leach. Same play, different result. It's touchdown, Cossacks. Cossacks here pouring it on here. This half is not even done yet. The Cossacks now lead well above that margin that we saw last week. 34-0 Sioux Valley with 7 to go here in the first half. With the pending extra point coming by Deegan. Sioux Valley offense has made their bread and butter off these plays on the outside, taking advantage of the speed. I think that's something they're going to continue to kind of pour on these teams until someone proves they can contain the speed of Sioux Valley. And then when you think you can contain the speed, they're going to go up the middle with Leach.
Yes, and I'm just excited about this extra point team and unit here.
Kick is up by Deegan, and is good. Nice hold there by
They had one miss a week ago. They had the one that went off the upright here tonight. Am I correct? So probably, you're just guessing me,
7 for
7 for 9, 6 for 8, somewhere in there. High school 9-man football, and if that builds and grows throughout the year, be nice, consistent part of our game.
Again, we want to make sure we welcome in all our listeners from all across the state and the area, whether you're streaming online on the YouTube page for Sioux Valley or listening on B93.7. We want to also encourage our listeners to go to B93.7.com, all your local scores, as well as Kid Country 102.3.
We talked about Tuesday night. Let's jump ahead to Thursday night, just last night's volleyball match, where the Cossacks improved to 2-0, a win again on the road. They went to Willow Lake and got the 3-1 win over Clark Willow Lake. Sioux Valley 25-21. They lost set 2, 24-26, then won 25-10 and 25-19 to beat Clark Willow Lake. Caden Sapnotch, 14 kills and 25 digs. Addison Wrinkley, 8 kills and 3 aces. Ashley Bierke, 20 assists. Sonny Hesby, 19 assists. Talia Vincent, 27 digs for the Cossacks. those of you who haven't seen our volleyball team, they will be at home tomorrow night in their third, not only their third match of the week, their third Lake Central Conference match of the week, hosting the Castlewood Warriors.
We previewed that with Joe Vincent here last week on the sports show every morning from 11 to noon on 9:10 a.m. We talked about what a grueling week this week was going to be, and sounds like they've mastered it well.
Things start at 11 tomorrow with a 7th grade match, followed by 8th grade. 1 o'clock the C team, JV at 2, followed by Varsity.
Here we go. Cots kicking off, leading 35-0. 7 to go first half. Returning it will be number 3, Nate Sheeta. Makes some nice moves there. And I think the one thing that kind of knocks Sisseton right now is they down it right at the 36-yard line. They're going to start there, being the Redmen. If there's one thing I have to knock Sisseton about right now is that I'm surprised they have not used Sheeta and Micah Ham hardly at all. Micah Ham, 6 foot, 137 pounds. No, they're not huge in terms of body build, but they've been your workhorses last week. Continue to ride that horse.
And that's great to come out. Maybe, hey, you think you got something on film, then go, but at some point, you got to get the clock moving. You know, and get some handouts, get the ball moving. You know, it's probably not as much about winning the game now as shortening the game so that you can keep this scoreboard in check.
In the backfield will be number 32, being a Julius Cloud, a senior running back, kind of the bigger back they have, 5'8", 185 pounds, and continued struggling with the handoffs is number 2, the Spigler, and kind of like a half second there too long.
The latest 11B poll. Winner at 1, Bridgewater Emerson at 2. No surprises there. Mm-hmm. Elk Point Jefferson at 3, Sioux Valley at 4. You know, a little bit of a surprise to me. I would be looking at Sioux Valley as 3 or 2. And then St. Thomas More at 5. Don't think they've played yet. I think their season opener is tonight. I liked the performance that I saw of Roncalli against Groton, and they have a 2-score lead over Groton early in this one. They're receiving votes. Mount Vernon Plank is receiving votes. Not so sure about Parker receiving votes. I think they dropped a 50-0 game to Elk Point Jefferson, wow. So that's a little surprise there to me. Hot Springs with a couple votes, and McCook Central Montrose with a vote.
Handoff goes in the middle to Julius Cloud. He bounced it out and made a nice move there by the senior running back, and he picks up a gain of close to 4. Middle make it now 3rd down and 2, maybe 3 from the Sioux Valley. Make that Sisseton 36-yard line. Real quickly here, Coach Vincent, as we continue to get closer and closer to halftime, I guess what have been your thoughts on this Sioux Valley defensive line? I know we haven't talked a lot about them in either of the games, but they substitute a lot of guys, and they've handled a lot of the pressure on them well.
Well, I like the versatility of this defense and what the coaches are doing with it, and it seems like when they need to get a quicker lineup out there, they have, and when they need to be big and strong up front, they've been able to do that as well. So they've given, they're well prepared, well schooled, and you're right, we haven't given this defensive line enough credit, and we need to do a better job of getting those names out there and crediting this defensive unit of the Cossacks that has a shutout going here tonight.
Right as we talked about how great the defense has been playing, there was a trick play there on 3rd down. It was a sweep right. It looked like it was going to be just a simple sweep. The Cossack aggressive defense started to come up in the play, and slipping behind the defense was number 14, Jason Fisher, and the running back being Sheeta got the pitch and flipped it out there on the trick play, completed it to Harris for the 1st down, and a gain of close to 25. It'll be a 1st down and 10 now. Forces it in from the Cossack 44. Sweep out left to Sheeta. Ball's bobbled on the sweep play by Sheeta and number 2 to Spigler. And once again, the exchange has been such an issue tonight for the Redmen. It's been almost crippling for their offense.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for them. Neat to see some new faces bouncing in and out of here. That we're seeing number 9, Tobin Squires. Number 53, is that Levi Lobin, the 5'10 sophomore, out onto the field for the Cossacks. So we're starting to see some new faces here defensively, which can only help you, grow for down the road in the season, but keep some of your starters fresh as well.
Here we go. 2nd down and 21 from the 45 of the Redmen. The Spigler steps back, pump fakes, nothing doing, rolls left, looks left, decides to take it himself, picks up a gain of positive yards. Ball was down. He fumbled the ball. And they're going to say it's down, but it will be Sioux Valley possession. Fumble recovered there by number 2, Jackson. Make that Bowden Schiller, excuse me.
Yeah, or was that number 5? I feel like that was Guthmiller, number 5. And again, those two numbers, hard to make the difference of out of there as their jerseys crunch up. But Guthmiller got that. Good to see number 75, Jake Schmuck, the transfer from Hamlin, the 6-foot, 220-pound freshman out there on that defensive unit as well.
First and 10 from the Sisseton 49-yard line. Kazakhs on offense here after the forced turnover here by the Kazakh defense. Guthmiller on the forced fumble and recovery. Sweep left here goes to number 7, a new face here for Sioux Valley in offense.
Brody Holland.
Making that Brody Holland. They're excited about his potential and speed and his versatility. A young player for this Kazakh offense. He takes a sweep and picks up close to a gain of 4, maybe 5. Second down and 5 from the Sisseton 44-yard line.
We're also seeing number 58, Brock Bloker, out there on that offensive line, the 6'2", 230-pound junior. And is Teskey in there taking some snaps now?
Brock Teskey is the quarterback. Teskey, the young stud here for the Cows. They're excited about his potential as well at quarterback. Snap is back. Going to be a dive play here to number, let me catch the number there.
Guthmiller possibly?
Being number 6.
Mitchell Guthmiller,
the younger of the two Guthmiller brothers. Dive player picked up close to a gain of 1. Bring up a third down now and close to 5 here for the Kazakhs from the Sisseton 44-yard line.
Get used to hearing that Guthmiller name.
Bone Teskey again, of course, we already mentioned that quarterback, 5'9", 155-pound player for the Kazakhs. Going to be a sweep out to the left side, make that right side to number 21, Braden Danzizen. Bring up a first down and 10 for the Kazakhs.
Braden Danzizen.
Jake Schneider calling some offensive plays here now for Sioux Valley.
The starting holder on special teams, Braden Danzizen.
Kazakhs lead at 35-0. Like I said, it's only the second quarter. 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter, and the Kazakhs have ruled to a dominant first half. 35-0 lead for your Kazakhs here on B93.7. You're home with the Sioux Valley Kazakh Sports Network. Under center will be Teskey. Will be a dive play here to Guthmiller. He picks up falling forward on top of his lineman, paving the way for him. Picks up close to a gain of 7. It'll bring up a second down now here and close to 4 from the Sisseton 32-yard line. Coach Vincent, as we continue to take down this first half, interesting decision here by Coach Hughes to insert some of these backups in early in the second, or I should say late in the second quarter. Usually you don't see that happen until the third or even the fourth. I'm sure he's preparing for this next couple weeks. It's going to be a kind of a marathon of 2 or 3 weeks here. You go to EPJ next week. That'll be a physical, tough game. Then you go on the road to Hill City, and you're back on the road back at home against Elk Point Jefferson at home.
Yeah, and it keeps these guys excited. There's another guy, number 17, Hunter Steinhaus, that just got the touch there on that play, the 6-foot freshman. And there's not, there's not always every program that's going to carry a JV level team in 11B football. So it's not a guarantee that the following Monday that you're going to go play Sisseton in JV football. That's not a guarantee week in and week out. So if you get an opportunity to get these guys on the field, get them some experience, get their confidence up, then they're going to come to practice, work harder for you, push the starters a little bit. It's just a good thing, as it also keeps your starters fresh. There's a wild play.
Broden Teskey on the pass. It was supposed to be a play action. It was going to be a dump out to the right side, or say a pass right side to Steinhaus. Ball was tipped to the line of scrimmage. It was caught by number 6, Guthmiller, on the deflection. He brought it up for a gain of close to 3. Back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of 1, but still it turned a bad play into what could have been a less negative play. So bringing up now close to a 4th down and 5 from the Sisseton 31-yard line.
With a minute 15 to go here before half.
Teskey under center. One receiver split out right. Steinhaus. 2 running backs on the left and right side of the tackles. But a dive play here to Guthmiller. Guthmiller makes a move, spins, fighting, and it's going to be chopped down just short, it looks like, of the first down. They're going to mark him right at the sticks. You will see if they measure this.
Yeah, I felt like he maybe got enough for it. The chain gang wants to call it a first down. They're quick to be moving over there.
And they called it a first down pretty fast.
You see D down there. He's ready to get that thing moving. Not sure who all else we have over there. Bastion, I believe. Maybe Benson. Maybe Hageman. Kind of guessing. They got their hats on, and they're bright orange and everything over there. I might be missing on a guy or two, but that's kind of the chain gang that's been active all night.
Teske heaves it to the end zone. Nice pass there by Teske and a deep route to Steinhaus, and perfectly placed ahead of the DB and right in the hands of the receiver, and he went right through the breadbasket there, incomplete.
That would have been a fun touchdown.
Would have been an amazing throw there by Teske. Kind of an undersized kid. Teske standing at a ripe 5'9", right at my size, I should say. But
was he trying to find Hunter Steinhaus on that play?
Yep. And Teske, like I said, undersized, had a nice throw there, nice arm there, kind of the future of Kazakh football at that quarterback position, they feel, once the Jace Christensen departs from that position. Teske, sweep out to the right side to Guthmiller. Guthmiller gets a block, has the space, and gets chopped down after cutting it back inside. Make that Holland, excuse me.
Under 30 seconds here in the first half.
Ball is brought up to close to the 25-yard line of Sisseton. Third down and long for the Kazakhs. Clock continues to tick under 20 seconds to go. First half. Sioux Valley has one more play left in them in this first half. Teske go under center. Going to be a sweep out left side, and it was supposed to be an option, but miscommunication there. Teske just had to do a kind of an improvisation, if you will. Quarterback dive there. Breaks fourth down and long, and it's going to be half. A slow-moving first half at that.
Yeah, and before we kind of take a break here for the half, something I know people out there, football fans around the state, you got number 1 in 9AA Howard and number 1 in 9A Canastota playing down at Canastota football field. Howard 7, Canastota 6 at the half.
Wow, good game.
At the half, 7-6, battle of number 1s. Number 1 in AA, 9AA, number 1 in 9A, 7-6. The Howard Tigers.
This is B93.7, home of the Kazakh Sports Network. This is Cash Marai, Bill Vincent. We are at half here from Kazakh Field. Kazakhs lead at 35-0 over the Sisseton Redmen. We're going to get to a quick break here. So they get to a break, you get some commercials in, get a shout out to our sponsors. When we come back, you're going to be joining us for the South Dakota Soybean Processors halftime show. We're going to recap local scores, recap the first half, preview the second half, and give you some impressions of what some of these games going on across the state, especially our local area games, because there's some doozies. Stay with us here. This is B93.7 back here shortly. Stay with us.
Outlaw Graphics is a proud supporter of all area sports. From signs and banners to vehicle graphics, they can do it all. From concept to completion, they'll take care of the details to help you showcase your business or project. Just about anything you need a graphic on, they'll get it done. Visit TeamOutlaw.com or see their Facebook page to check out their latest project. Outlaw Graphics, the sign solution that sticks in Brookings.
Sioux Valley School District takes pride in the schools and the students. Their goal is to provide a quality education in a healthy and safe learning atmosphere with an environment that fosters the development of student skills and potential. The district offers a balanced curriculum with the most current technology, with all students having a one-to-one environment. District facilities are exceptional with a newly constructed elementary addition, a 400-seat performing arts center, 2 gymnasiums, 2 serving areas for lunch, and an upgraded football field, stadium, and track. Contact the Sioux Valley School Administration at 605-627-5657 for a tour. And good luck, Kazakhs.
South Dakota Soybean Processors of Volga is your partner in farming and marketing and is excited to sponsor the Sioux Valley Athletic Programs. SDSP is ready to work with you on your soybean marketing for Volga and Miller delivery. They buy commodity soybeans for delivery to Volga and buy non-GMO soybeans for delivery to Volga or Miller. Call them at 1-888-737-8888 for the current market bids and details on delivery. South Dakota Soybean Processors wish all farmers a safe and prosperous harvest and wish the Sioux Valley Cossacks all the best this season. Go Big Blue. Go Cossacks. Lance Trucking supports athletes and students of the fine arts at Sioux Valley Schools. Lance Trucking is locally owned and is located on Industrial Drive in Volga. They are in need of full-time, over-the-road truck drivers. Apply by calling Lance Trucking at 605-627-9296. Lance and the crew at Lance Trucking Incorporated is wishing the Sioux Valley athletes good luck this year. Go Big Blue. Go Cossacks.
It's time to get lucky at the Lucky Dog Bar and Grill, and they invite you to breakfast Saturday morning, starting at 8:30 a.m. to 11. If you can't make it to breakfast, you can still enjoy their regular menu starting at 11 a.m. Do you like to throw darts? Lucky Dog is looking for 3 dart teams for a dart league every Thursday night. Contact Sherry for more information. Lucky Dog Bar and Grill, located in Volga, where it's time for your taste buds to get lucky.
Myers Services. Let us help make your farm and ranch operation more profitable. Whether it be a professionally designed and installed field drainage system, general excavation, or equipment storage, we can handle it all. Myers Services stays on the cutting edge of technology to ensure proper design and installation of field subsurface drainage systems. This will allow you a return on your investment year after year. Myers is also a dealer for Lester Post Frame Buildings, one of the leaders in the pre-engineered post frame building industry.
Sisseton's Bar and Grill in Volga is a big supporter of all Sioux Valley athletics. After the game, stop down to Sisseton's and enjoy a delicious meal. Check out their menu that includes roasted chicken, their famous Sisseton's burger, bucket of balls, chislic, and more. And now you can order online for curbside pickup. Like their Facebook page to see all their weekly specials. Sisseton's Bar and Grill on Main Street in Volga. Great food and great friends. Cub Construction and Concrete of Volga is a proud supporter of Sioux Valley Caustic Athletics. Think Cub Construction for residential, agricultural, and commercial construction and concrete. Cub's projects are always on time and on budget. Call Brian at 690-8263 or Clint at 690-9977. Good luck to the Sioux Valley Caustic football team. The City of Volga is very proud of the Sioux Valley Caustic Athletic Program. Visit the city's website, volgacity.com, to see the community guide, city meeting agenda and minutes, auditorium and community center reservations, and sign up for text and email alerts from the City of Volga. Stay in touch daily by liking the City of Volga Facebook page, and you'll know more about what's happening in the City of Volga. Go Cossacks!
Let the Valley Restaurant do the cooking for you. Mondays are kids eat free with an adult meal purchase. Wednesdays is BOGO half-price burgers. Thursday is pasta night. And Friday night, all-you-can-eat fish fry. Homemade pie made daily with half-price pie slices with a meal purchase on Tuesdays. Follow them on Facebook to see their specials. The Valley Restaurant is located in Volga, across from the bean plant, and wishes the Cossacks a good luck in tonight's game.
We want the defense to clog the lines, not have your drain lines clogged. If you have a clogged drain, Big Sioux Plumbing, located in Volga, can help you out. They clean main sewer lines, residential and commercial, new construction, and more. Big Sioux Plumbing, a big supporter of Sioux Valley athletics and fine arts. They wish all athletes and fine arts students good luck this school year. If you're in need of plumbing services, call Neil at 690-4085.
There's no better feeling than grilling out, and there's no better place than Ace to get the best grill for your family. Like a Weber gas grill, a Traeger wood pellet grill, a Big Green Egg or Blackstone grill. You won't find these premium brands and services at a warehouse store, only at your neighborhood Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their grills. Volga Ace, the place with helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Pepsi and Mountain Dew can make any situation extraordinary. Take a family vacation, for instance.
We did it, Dad.
It's just 2 more hours.
I think I'm going crazy. Who am I kidding? I'm already there.
Here, have a Mountain Dew. Aw, the baby is asleep.
Mom, we got the mountains.
That was quick. We're here.
Mountain Dew and Pepsi will not keep the kids calm, but it does taste great on those long summer road trips. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, and other great flavors from the Pepsi Cola Bottling Company in Pipestown.
Hi, this is Kirby from Bankstar Financial. We started the new year with one word, thank. And now Bankstar Financial would like to thank a bright star in your life. Every day, someone is touched by another person's kindness. No matter the size of that kindness, a thank you always follows. But we love to make it bigger and brighter. Who's your bright star? Who makes a difference in your life? Visit ebankstar.bank to tell us who and how a bright star made you smile, warmed your heart, or made your day, so we know who to thank too.
Thank on the bright side. Bankstar Financial in Brookings, Elton, and Volga. Member FDIC.
Did you hear that? That is the sound of a Kenworth TA80 ready to roll. However, it can't because this truck needs you. Bose Construction is now hiring truck driver trainees. What does that mean? Bose Construction will help you obtain your CDL with no cost out of your pocket. Qualifications include willingness to grow in a truck driving heavy construction career, dependability, clean driving record, and pass a pre-employment drug screen. Choose a career that will always be in high demand. Call Carrie to set up an interview today. 605-693-5343 or visit our website, boseconstruction.com.
We all know my Grandpa Terry loves all things sports. Hi, this is Jordan. Stella,
Trey, Quinn. And I'm Ryder.
and with any sport or play, accidents can happen.
That's why you need to call my Grandpa Terry at Anderson Insurance. He'll make sure you and your family have the right health care plan at the right price.
So good luck to all area sports teams from Anderson Insurance.
Sports injury? Brookings Health System can help you get back into the game with comprehensive sports medicine services, including emergency room services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. State-of-the-art imaging technology, including MRI, CT scan, and ultrasound. A full range of inpatient, same-day, and emergency surgery services, as well as individualized physical therapy healthcare plans to help rebuild strength and movement. Visit brookingshealth.org or call 696-9000. Get back in the game with Brookings Health System.
Farming demands well-built equipment. Kubota equipment that's proven for over a century. Tractors rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Hay tools backed by a 2-year warranty. Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. And productive SSV skid steers. Visit your local Kubota dealer for a demo today.
Visit your Kubota dealer in Brookings, Farmers Implement and Irrigation.
Brookings Chiropractic Center and Physical Therapy has put together a team of health professionals to offer you a one-stop shop for all your health care needs, from chiropractic care and massage therapy to physical therapy. Your health care Steve Plights, physical therapist Brenda Boots, and massage therapist Aaron Jacobs. Brookings Chiropractic offers everything from treating back and neck pain, headaches, and sports injuries to DOT physicals and acupuncture. Good luck to all area teams from the Brookings Chiropractic and Physical Therapy team. Call 696-7272.
Welcome back here to B93.7, home of the Catholic Sports Network. I'm Cash. To my right, Bill Vincent. Welcome into the halftime show here, the Lucky Dog Bar and Grill halftime show. Of course, we're looking to our media booth up here. A beautiful, beautiful night here at Cossack Field. Bill Vincent, halftime is here, and the Cossacks have put a trouncing on the Redmen, 35-0.
Yeah, scoring recap for you here. Sisseton received the ball first and went 4 and out, punted it over to Sioux Valley. Some real good punting today by Sisseton. Of course, they've been out there punting just simply too much. Sioux Valley 2 plays and in for a score. It was Bowden Schiller with a long touchdown run, and the kicking team on Jamison Dagan to make it 7-0. And then it was another punt by Sisseton, their second punt of the night, which resulted in a touchdown pass from Christensen to Rose to take the score 13-0. Extra point, no good. Sisseton once again with a punt, and it was Sioux Valley just running out of time there at the end of the first quarter, and then the change of fields, and that was following the long run by Jace Christensen. And after the quarter break and into the start of the second quarter, he fell forward from about the 1-foot line behind Big Joe Hornick there to get the touchdown, making it 19-0. The 2-point conversion by Rose was good, 21-0. Another Sisseton punt, followed by a touchdown run by Schiller from 8 yards out. The extra point team came on to make it 28-0. Sisseton then had their 5th punt of the ball game, followed by a Sioux Valley Lane Leach touchdown run, long run. I can't remember how the run was at the end, though, but he had a long run to kind of set himself up, and then had a shorter run to take it in for the touchdown, making it 34-0. Once again, the extra point was good, 35-0. Kind of the second / third type of string of defense on, in and out for Sioux Valley on the next possession, and they forced a turnover, came up with the ball, and then got the last drive, which time-wise was maybe one of the longer drives by either team of the half, and the only thing to stop Sioux Valley this half was the clock, and it's 35-0 heading the half. Otherwise, I think that team was going to march it down as well and find the end zone, but that sets up our score of 35-0. Sioux Valley 4 of 6 passing for 41 yards and a touchdown, rushing 308 yards. 308 yards rushing. Leach 10 carries for 83 yards. Schiller, 5 carries for 88 yards. He has 2 touchdowns. Leach has 1. Rose has 2 catches for 29 yards and a touchdown. Hockett has 6 tackles. There's a name we probably haven't called enough, given enough credit to. Teskey has 4. Sisseton is 4 of 14 for 57 yards passing, 48 yards rushing. Receiving is led by number 14, the big, tall, lanky guy there, number
Jason
14.
Harris.
Yes. For 2 catches for 56 yards, and number 63 leading them in tackles with 10. I'm trying to come up with that name. There's that Mason Schultz. And he's followed by Jason Fisher, who has 9 tackles. And that's kind of a rundown of your halftime in terms of scoring drives and statistics.
Kazakhs have played well, and the stats don't tell the story. I don't know what will. It's kind of been a sneaky offensive performance. You don't really think of when you think of big runs and stuff like that. It hasn't been a lot of big. It's just been consistent chunk plays, and it's really taken. And that's been the chunk of the offense. Has been those big chunk runs, and not really any big passing plays for the Kazakhs. Now, Sisseton, on the other hand, they've had their fair share of a couple of big plays, but they haven't amounted to anything.
Yeah, I think they knew that they were going to have to take some chances and maybe find people that they could go at, maybe put their best player and get him arranged to not be against one of our better players, and take those chances one-on-one, and it hasn't worked for them. And, then I thought maybe they would shift back, get the ground game going, and get the clock going a little bit, but they've just stayed the course with that, and it hasn't been successful, and it has the feel of a mismatch, especially when we're on offense, and then that's not to take anything away from our defense tonight either.
Now, I know you got some stats. You are some things you want to talk about here. I guess go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, we touched base on the competitive cheer team that had their showcase, and they'll be out live coming up. But the golf team was out too, and I believe they're in Millbank, and it was a rained shortened event for them. So they're looking forward to next week getting out and golfing. We've talked about the volleyball team, cross country. First outing of the year for them, and some super exciting news on the girls' side of that. Sioux Valley comes away with the varsity girls win there, so the team championship at the John Colligan Invite in Madison. Sioux Valley scores 20 points, followed by Brookings with 24, Huron with 42, Madison, Howard, Tri-Valley, to name a few of the teams that were at this meet. Your individual champion for a second consecutive year, Isabel Blocher from Sioux Valley, just under 20 minutes there in the 5K run. Talia Vincent finished 4th. Isabel Blocher, a sophomore for Sioux Valley. Talia, a freshman. Her time right around 22 minutes. Liberty Trigstead comes in 7th, the 8th grader. Again, right there at right around 22 minutes. Kaylee Cronduct, also in 8th grade. And Quinn Nielsen round out the 5 gals that ran varsity for Sioux Valley tonight. On the boys' side, Carson Washi was a medalist in the varsity event, and just a large host. I think we took 30-plus athletes down on that bus to compete, middle school, JV, varsity. Lots of success across the board, and we'll load up again in the morning at 7:30, head up to Dubrook, up to the Don Ray Invitational at 6 Mile Creek, and I believe first race at 9 a.m. varsity girls, followed by varsity boys, then the JV races, and then the middle school, the 6th grade runners will run after that. So exciting to finally get out there and start, and big news when you can go against schools of that size and have some success and come out of there with a team victory as well. It was a pleasant surprise for us, but fun to see our runners kind of talking it over with Coach Cetera on the bus ride home and at the meet, and with our kids and our fans. But we're calculating, probably 30, 45 seconds kind of ahead of maybe where we were a year ago, and we felt that was going to be the case. We thought we had a good preseason. We had some runners that got involved in the summertime to get themselves ready to go. So we think we're maybe a little ahead of where we've been to start the season. So that's exciting. Of course, long course to go through and a lot of work to do to improve throughout the course of the rest of the year. But so tomorrow, the Sioux Valley cross country team will be in action. Sioux Valley volleyball will be at home and in action as well. So it's been a big week for Cossack Athletics.
This has been the B93.7 halftime, or this is B93.7 home here at Cossack Sports Network. This has been the halftime show here, brought to you by our friends at South Dakota Soybean Process. When we come back, we're going to kick it off the third quarter here live from Cossack Field. Stay with us here on B93.7, back here in 60 seconds or less.
If you love sports, you'll love Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill. No matter what sport or what team you follow, Cubby's has the best sports viewing atmosphere in the area. Plus a full bar, appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, wraps, salads, and a menu just for the kids. All ages are welcome. Stop down before or after the game. Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill, a proud supporter of all area teams, located in downtown Brookings.
Every day you share personal information about yourself with others. You may write a check, charge fuel, rent a car, mail your tax returns, schedule a doctor's appointment, or post something on social media. Each transaction may share some sort of personal information, such as bank and credit card account numbers, social security number, name, address, or phone number. There are unscrupulous individuals, identity thieves, targeting these routine transactions, trying to gain your information to commit fraud. If you think somebody has stolen your identity, contact Consumer Protection at 1-800-300-1986.
Welcome back here, B93.7, home of your Cossack Sports Network. I'm Cash. To my right, Bill Vincent. We'll welcome you in to the third quarter here live from Cossack Field. The Cossacks jumped out to a down in the first half, 35-0 lead. They will receive the ball to start the second half, and it's going to be a lot of next names of the future with the Cossacks here in the second half, as Broden Teskey will start the second half at quarterback, followed by a wide band of lots of new kids out there to start the second half. And right to start the second half on the first offensive play will be a sweep on the off the right side to Braden Holland. He's cut down immediately by the incoming blitzer of the Sisseton. That makes to bring up a second down now and close to 20.
Yeah, Brody Holland, I think it's maybe a misprint in our program, but yeah, it looks like it's turned a little bit into a JV football game. That's not to take away from any athletes. All of these guys are capable, but it'll be some good experience time for this unit.
Cossacks lead at 35-0, 11:15 to go here in the second half, or make that third quarter. Teskey in the shotgun. Going to step back to a quarterback try. He's going to be slung down and hog-tied there right around the 12-yard line. Another loss of probably close to 1 or maybe 2, and we'll bring up now a third down and a mile from the Cossack 20, make that Cossack 12-yard line. Here's second half, Coach Vincent. You're up 35-0. It's a smart decision to let your starters rest, now don't want to risk injury. How do you call the second half if you're Dan Hughes in this offense?
Yeah, you just keep doing what your system of play is, and you get these guys to get used to it and get comfortable with it. Of course, you like to hand the ball off, get the clock moving a little bit to help shorten the game, but you still want to see success. You want to see these guys get defensive stops and find the end zone as well.
Third down and long. That's going to be a handoff to Guthmiller for a gain of close to 4, and it'll bring up now a fourth down and close to 25 from the Cossack 25, and it's going to bring up a punt here for Sioux Valley, I believe, as Coach Hughes sends in them with the punt unit here to punt the ball way back to Sisseton. And I'm curious to see how Sisseton plays this now. You're down 35-0. Sioux Valley has put in their essential JV team. And does Sisseton go to their younger group now, or do they roll with their starters a little bit longer?
They probably got to roll with their starters a little longer. They got to build some confidence back, and they have to get themselves prepared. You got to do what's best for your program in the situation.
Fourth down and 15. It's going to be a high punt rolling down to the 50-yard line, down to the 45, down to the 41, 40-yard line, and it's going to drop dead right at the 40-yard line marker.
Some extracurricular action out here by, I believe, number 71 and number 20.
Clark Mulaney of the Cossacks was kind of getting into it, playing some physical, tough football there, and got kind of wrapped up there with a couple of Sisseton players. So it's going to be no flag, though, just some good old fashioned high school tug of war.
Was he mixing it up with Devontae?
He was mixing it up.
Yeah.
And good old, like I said, good old fashioned tug of war. I like to see the toughness, and it's part of the game of football. And the Cossacks here on. The Redmen here at first and 10 from their own 40-yard line will roll back out with the majority of their starting offense in place as expected. Trailing 35-0, 9 to go here in the second half. A good test here for this JV squad of Sioux Valley to get some time under the lights against the Sisseton team and their starting offense. First play from line of scrimmage, it'll be a slant pattern here to Harris. Throwing off his back foot will be number 2, Ethan Spigler. It's incomplete there. I think if he would have stepped up in the pocket there instead of trying to throw off his back of his hip, that would have been complete. It was a nice ball, just not enough zip on it. He kind of lobs it in there, and it had a chance to be broken up there by Hockett, I believe, and it was. So they'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Yeah, when you have 35 points and 308 yards of rushing at halftime, you have a full game's worth of stats already. So it's good to see these guys shuffling people in and out of the game. 2nd down and 10 for the Redmen. Be a quick screen here off the right side to number 5, being Mason Herzog, and there'll be a gain of close to 4, and it's going to bring him now a 3rd down and long for the Redmen. Against this, again, I will continue to mention and give kudos to the Sioux Valley defense. It's featuring a lot of young and JV players, and I emphasize on young. They're a very young squad. You know, we misspoke earlier when we said it was the DeSmet-Dell Rapids matchup. I believe it was Hamlin that is playing Dell Rapids St. Mary's this week. DeSmet's actually up 36-0 over Stanley County at Wilkinson Field in DeSmet. Kazakhs lead 35-0, 8 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Quick screen off the left side to Harris, and ball's off of Harris's hands. Ball was still a little high there by Spigler. Harris couldn't reel in. All of his 6'4", 6'5" frame could not haul it in, and it's going to be 4th down now and long, forced by this Kazakh D against the starting offense of Sisseton. How would you like to be number 4 in the state and get to host number 1 at Hamlin at their track and field complex and have number 1 come to your town? Hamlin must have liked it. They're up 44-6 at half on Del Rapids St. Mary's. You know, speaking of that 9AA, Howard we said was number 1. Wall comes in at 2. Platte Geddes at 3. Hamlin at 4. And Hanson at 5 in that 9AA poll. A very solid lineup of teams right there you just mentioned, all very well coached and experienced and have a long tradition of success dating back the last 10 to 15 years. They do. You know, we haven't run down 11B, so we'll get those in between plays here as we're moving along. The first one that comes to the top of the list is in the 3rd quarter. Clark Willow Lake 14, Webster 7. Aberdeen Roncalli duel has now answered with a score of their own. That's 14-7 with a couple minutes to go in the 3rd. Tri-Valley's up 8-0 over Parker. That one has 10 minutes left, so Parker rebounding after that blowout game against EPJ. Flandreau and Bridgewater still tied at 6. That one's deep into the 3rd quarter. Going back into the field here, we just mentioned that on that 4th down, it was a sweep to Harris, and Harris picked up a gain of close to 30 and a 1st down, and now the offense for Redmond has kind of come to life here. Another good player on offense by Spigler, and we're getting now a 2nd down and 12 from the Kazakh 37-yard line. This is very valuable time here for the Kazakh backup defenders here, who, like I have mentioned many times, and I'm sure I'll mention it many times again throughout the 2nd half, are very inexperienced. This is a young group of kids. You see a lot of kids out there that are freshmen and sophomores. This is vital experience for them, not only going forward throughout this year, but throughout their career in a Kazakh uniform. Yeah, it's a vital time for your starters to be over here staying injury-free before you head to the Elk Point Jefferson game a week from tonight. Balls heaved deep to number 8. We've talked about him a lot. Number 8 being Levante Carter, and Paul is breaking up. Pass is breaking up. And number 35, Jameson Deegan. A good play there by the youngster out of the Kazakh secondary. Now we'll bring up now a 3rd down and 12. Speaking of Elk Point Jefferson, they went into Baltic and won 55-0 tonight. Oofta. 55-0. St. Thomas More is up 21-0 over 11 AA. Spearfish. St. Thomas More, an 11B team that's getting some votes as well. Mount Vernon Plankinton up 22-7 on Miller Highmore Harriet, and Winter up 52-6 on Wagner. 3rd down and 12 for the Redmen from the Kazakh 37. Spigler out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver out the right tackle left. Quick screen out the left side to Harris. Harris catches the ball, makes a man miss, cuts it up close to the 30-yard line. Will fall forward and pick up close to 5 or 6. He'll make it now a 4th down and close to 6 for the Redmen. Did that ball go to Harris? 14. Or to Fisher. Excuse me, Fisher. So Jacob Fisher. Yeah, the 6'4" junior. Again, just a nice-looking player out there on the field. Moves well for his size, and he's only a junior. I have to wonder if he plays basketball. Yeah, some more scores coming in here. Wolsey, Western Springs, Sanborn Central.
14, Jim River 0. Remember Jim River, we played them a week ago. That is the Scotland Minnow Co-op. Redfield 8, Groton Area 6. Mobridge Pollock 51, Dakota Hills 0. That one went final. And Lead Deadwood is beating Hill City 7-0 with 6 minutes to go in the first.
Spigler out of the shotgun, 4th down. He scrambles out left, rushes left, picks in the first down, makes a man miss. Down to the 10, down to the 5, and he scrambles in. Touchdown, Redmond. Spigler showing off his wheels there, something we haven't seen a lot of today. Gets the ball, hands it to the ref, and the Redmen are on the board, 35-6.
Yeah, good show of his speed and athleticism there on that play.
Extra point coming, I imagined from, I would presume to be Harris. He's sure to be the guy of the kicking genius here, or the special teams prowess, I should say.
You know, you mentioned last week, you talked about the officials and how some games would need to be on a Thursday or a Saturday. 11B will have 2 Saturday football games take place tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Lakota Tech will play Troop Delmar Armor and Central Dakota Christian. That is all one team. That list of teams that I listed off, but they'll play Lakota Tech and Hot Springs and McCook Central Montrose. That game will be 7 o'clock at Woodward Field tomorrow.
Spigler went for 2. Spigler threw a fade up left corner of the end zone to Harris. Ball was overthrown. No good, and the Kazakh lead remains 35-6. They remain out there, though. Curious what's going on. There's a host of players from Sisseton talking things through with the reffing crew. Not sure what's going on out there, but interesting enough, the Kazakhs still lead 35-6 even with all that extracurricular. And Kazakh backup defense, a lot of touchdown, but made them work for it.
They did. Some 11 AA action. I know people in the area obviously excited with the Bobcats. They're up 12-3, and in that classification, T's up 45-0. Brookings went 19-3. Now, Brookings just putting more points on the board there. T has put many points on the board. They're up 45-0 on Huron with 3 minutes to go in the third. We talked about St. Thomas More and Spearfish 21-0, Belfouche 14, Douglas 8, Yankton 24, Mitchell 0, and then we will have a Saturday game between Pierre and Aberdeen Central. That would be a fun one to be at. In Pierre, 7 o'clock tomorrow. Rapid City Central and Sturgis Brown will also play tomorrow at O'Hare Stadium in Rapid City.
Kazakhs lead here 35-6 as we take under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. A faster moving third quarter than we saw the first half go, and I think the first half you're probably wondering why it went so slow if the Kazakhs are up so much. Well, Sisseton passed the ball a lot and didn't complete a lot.
They did. A lot of stoppage of play, and here Sioux Valley kind of helped speed things up there by establishing the run game there with their second unit early on after receiving the ball to start the second half.
Kicking off for the Redmond will be number 14, Jason Fisher. Back to receive for the Kazakhs will be Danzizen and Teske. Excuse me, correction on that. It was number 5, Guthmiller and Danzizen. Kick is a high, short rolling kick out to the 25. Ball's muffed. Kazakhs all kind of looking around, seeing who's going to pick it up. No one calls it out. Ball hit right around the 30-yard line. A tussle for it. We'll see who comes up with it. It looks like Sisseton has the ball, and they do. So Sisseton, a couple of momentum-changing plays here against the JV squad of Sioux Valley, and it'll be Sisseton football, looks like, and we'll see what's going on. There's some player. Looks like there's a player down, and he's going to get up. Now that player being down was Guthmiller.
Yeah, it's just time now for the Sioux Valley crowd to kind of get back into the game here on Adam Sandler night and to get behind the cheerleaders, kind of bring a little energy and excitement back into our team. That cheerleading squad, we talked about mentioning Kiana King, Mercedes Vanderwall, Haley Larson, Morgan Himmelstead, Kalia King, Ashlyn Tangen, Marissa Qualley, and Abby Ching, and their cheer coach of sideline cheer, Casey King.
Longtime cheer coach for the Kazakhs and back-to-back state championship winner for competitive cheer.
yeah, you're only short about 8 back-to-backs.
Yeah, I don't want to continue to go
I think
on.
they're at 14 straight in competitive cheerleading, and great to have the sideline cheerleading teams back the last couple of seasons as well in football and basketball.
After that fumble on the kickoff by Sioux Valley, Sisseton takes advantage and has a nice gain on first down of roughly 4, and it's going to make him now a second down and close to 7 from the Cossack. Looks to be 30, or make that 28-yard line, 31-yard line, maybe, if that. Hard to see up here through these fogged-up windows, but the Cossacks, second half hasn't been the kindest to them right now. This is, again, a JV squad. They played well. These are kind of critical growing pains you have to go through as a young player, whether it's football, basketball, cross-country track. You learn through doing.
You do. You just got to gain the experience needed to be successful.
Second down and close to 8 here for the Redmen. Sweep off the left side to number 8 being our guy we talked about earlier, number 8 being Carter. He moves it down close to the 15-yard line. Good play to pick up close to 20 and a first down for Levante Carter, the freshman. He's been someone we've talked a lot about tonight as being an X factor, we thought maybe for them. His speed and quickness, and they took advantage of it there.
Him, Spigler, Fisher, really easy guys to like. They'll all be back a year from now. When we travel to Sisseton.
Cossacks lead here 35-6, 2:50 to go here. First half clock is rolling still. From first out of 10 for Sisseton from the 10-yard line of Sioux Valley. To Spigler out of the shotgun, 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Being hand off to Sheeta. No, wait, Spigler takes it, keeps it, throws left corner of the end zone. Harris outstretching arms, no good. Ball's a little far, little high there for Spigler.
To Fisher.
Excuse me.
Make the connection with Fisher. Those of you listening at home, watching at home, this doesn't happen without Mr. Tim Holter.
Timothy Holter, I mean, someone called him the Clint Eastwood of South Dakota. And whether you call him that or not, he's a man of many talents in Sioux Valley. And it's funny enough because you talk about tech guys. You don't see a lot of tech guys who are as dedicated as he is for doing whether it's basketball or football games that I call. He's up there early. He's always doing everything he can to make sure that everyone has what they need, whether it's me and the radio crew or the coaches that are asking questions. He's always so willing to put in a little extra time and make sure everyone has what they need. And he's the one that makes it able for you to watch games and be able to listen to us on game days.
And that's just what we see at game time. Think of what he's doing all day at keeping our one-to-one computers going with every student in our school.
Exactly, many different things. And as we talk about game-changing plays and game-changing efforts, not only by Mr. Tim Holter, also by the Sioux Valley defense, fumbled the play there by Sisseton. Falling down on top, it was a Sioux Valley defense led by the JP squad. And bend, don't break has been a mantra for many football teams in this year. And this is another play there of Sioux Valley defense of bending, not breaking this week. Only this time, it's the JV squad.
Yeah, that's fun to see them have excitement, bring the energy back to the game, and make a big play there. And now we get to see their offensive unit.
Back in on offenses come Teskey at the quarterback position. Behind him will be, I believe it's number 6. The number's kind of hard to read. Mitch Guthmiller, the running back. Motion man goes Dan Ziesen, left side. It's going to be a dive here to Guthmiller. Guthmiller gets stood up after a gain of close to 3. And we got a second down and close to 7 from the 11-yard line of Sioux Valley. Make that maybe 12. Defense, good stop there after kind of getting bullied all the way down the field.
Yeah, it was. You mentioned bend, don't break, came up with a big play. So this unit, call it what we want to, some JV guys, a mix, a second unit. They've come up with 2 turnovers in the game, the one that they had 4 or 5 minutes to go in the first half, and this one right here.
Back in offense come the Cossacks. Dan Ziesen running off the sweep right side. Picks up a loss of close to 2 or 3. It'll bring up a third down now. A third down and long from the Cossack 10-yard line.
Now, I know we're a long ways away, but that tackle looked a little bit high. That's still, you talk to me, that's still a clean tackle because you avoid the face mask. Talk to me about that play.
Hog-tied him there. I mean, it could go either way. Someone might say horse collar.
Okay.
Some might say it was clean. Either way, physical play there, kind of bang-bang play there. I think sometimes the refs kind of allow that bang-bang plays to happen just so the game continues to roll instead of having to stop everything. But either way, a good trade down there by the Sisseton defender, and Dan Ziesen getting some valuable time on the field.
And the runner and athlete, they're not in any jeopardy of energy there on that play. Still pretty clean, legal play.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, good.
This is B93.7. The clock is ran out here in the third quarter, and the Cossacks continue 1 quarter away from starting the season off 2-0. They lead 35-0 here at the end of 3. This is B93.7, home of the Cossack Sports Network. Back here in 2 minutes or less.
The Valley Mart in Volga is a local and family-owned convenience store and gas station. They have a large selection of drinks and snacks, 24-hour gas pumps, bait for fishing, and grab-and-go food. If you don't feel like cooking tonight, call in and order their delicious thin-crust pizzas. The Valley Mart in Volga has everything you need and is located across from the soybean processing plant, and they're proud supporters of Sioux Valley Athletics.
Outlaw Graphics is a proud supporter of all area sports. From signs and banners to vehicle graphics, they can do it all. From concept to completion, they'll take care of the details to help you showcase your business or project. Just about anything you need a graphic on, they'll get it done. Visit TeamOutlaw.com or see their Facebook page to check out their latest project. Outlaw Graphics, the sign solution that sticks in Brookings.
Sioux Valley School District takes pride in the school and the students. Their goal is to provide a quality education in a healthy and safe learning atmosphere with an environment that fosters the development of student skills and potential. The district offers a balanced curriculum with the most current technology, with all students having a one-to-one environment. District facilities are exceptional with a newly constructed elementary addition, a 400-seat performing arts center, 2 gymnasiums, 2 serving areas for lunch, and an upgraded football field, stadium, and track. Contact the Sioux Valley School Administration at 605-627-5657 for a tour. And good luck, Cossacks.
South Dakota Soybean Processors of Volga is your partner in farming and marketing and is excited to sponsor the Sioux Valley Athletic Programs. SDSP is ready to work with you on your soybean marketing for Volga and Miller delivery. They buy commodity soybeans for delivery to Volga and buy non-GMO soybeans for delivery to Volga or Miller. Call them at 1-888-737-8888 for the current market bids and details on delivery. South Dakota Soybean Processors wish all farmers a safe and prosperous harvest and wish the Sioux Valley Cossacks all the best this season. Go Big Blue. Go Cossacks.
Welcome back here to B93.7, home of the Kazakh Sports Network. This is Cash. Alongside me, Bill Vincent here. Fourth quarter begins. The Kazakhs lead 35-0.
Cash, would you call this half of a bye week? Half of a bye. You still prepared. You played a game, but your starters saw less than half the game of action out there, and will go in healthy and fresh to Elk Point to play a team that's 2-0 next week.
Yeah, this is huge for Sioux Valley because you have a stretch coming up, like I said earlier, a stretch where you play Elk Point Jefferson next week. You go on the road to Hill City, and I know it's a Hill City team that's probably your favorite in, but it's always tough going a long distance, playing a game and coming back, especially if you have a kind of lingering injuries that have to ride without being treated or sitting normal for an extended period of time. And then you have to go home in 2 weeks, or next time we're back at the stadium, and they'll play Elk Point Jefferson, Bridgewater Emerald Ethan, who Sioux Valley has had some bouts with, and they're a team that they don't like each other very much.
Yeah, your classic Big East Conference football matchup. A couple traditional teams that have battled over the years, not only in the regular season, but in some awfully big playoff games.
Kazakhs lead here 35-6 to Spigler.
What did we just see down there? That was that Colin Vanderwall and Jacob Guthmiller. Was that like triple jump training? Was that the three-legged race? Those guys just bounced from one 20-yard line to the other 20-yard line, a little skip to my loo down across the field. What was that we just...
I think we're probably stretching a hamstring stretch.
Okay.
Maybe a hamstring stretch.
We'll call it a hamstring stretch.
Colin is a man of many talents, whether it's being a team chaplain or a man of FCA or being a basketball coach, a football coach, or an energy giver. He's a man that does it all.
Or a pregame chiropractor.
That too.
Stretching, getting everyone ready to go, both physically, mentally, and physically.
Back to the field, and Ziza brings it across the right side of the field down to the 49-yard line of the Sisseton Redmen. Good play there by the younger Dan Zizen. The next Dan Zizen in line here for the Kazakhs, a name that many are familiar with here that's had a good career, was Damian Dan Zizen. He is currently in attendance tonight, as well as many former Kazakh athletes here. I've seen multiple former Kazakh men and women's players, whether it's basketball, volleyball, football, whatever it may be. They're here to support their alma mater tonight. Kazakhs lead again 35-6, 9:30 to go, fourth quarter. Kazakh football.
Would be fun. Would be fun to see us drive down the field here and get a touchdown. And I see Sisseton, a lot of their bodies have made their way onto the field as well.
Under center will be number 8, Teskey. Sweep out left side to Dan Zizen. He cuts it back left side, trying to make a move, makes one man miss, makes another man miss, and is chopped down at the 44-yard line of the Redmen. So we'll bring up here a third down now. And a first and 10. You got there. I was misreading the sticks there. It'll be a first and 10 for the Kazakhs from the Sisseton 45-yard line. Kazakhs again lead it 35-6, 8:57 to go here in the fourth quarter. Clock continues to tick down under 9, excuse me. This is a game, Coach Vincent, as you look at this, this is a Sisseton team that has some good plays, isolated I should say, but there's still some good plays they've had, has struggled to string together consistent drives to make things well. We're going to get back to that sec here. Teskey heaves it deep to number 17, Steinhaus, wide open, and he dropped it.
Low in coverage there by the Redmen. You get some different mixes of people coming in and out, and Sioux Valley wasn't quite able to take advantage of it and make the connection.
Little one thrown there by Teskey, thrown off his back foot, but Steinhaus had to readjust there, couldn't haul it in, and it's going to be a flag in the backfield, though I believe they're going to say that was roughing the passer. I believe. We'll see what the call is coming from the rest. It will be of the passer. It'll be the automatic first down in the game at 15 in favor of Sioux Valley, but still, you'd love to get a touchdown there, especially in a deep, big play like that.
Yeah, I want to see this unit put some points on the board. They're deserving of it. They put in a lot of plays and a lot of possessions tonight. They're deserving of it. I'd like to see them in this with a touchdown. Kind of send us in next week with the energy on our side.
First and 10 from the Sisseton 29-yard line. Teskey under center, motion man going left right is Dan Ziesen. They give it to Dan Ziesen off the right side. He makes one man miss, cuts it back up, down to the 20, down to the 15, down to the 14, chopped out of bounds by the Sisseton Redmen. Good move there, patient running there by Braden Dan Ziesen. Good play.
Yeah, he has some nice young talent there for the freshmen, and the Cossacks just continue to accumulate yards on the ground as they're moving in on 500 yards rushing for the evening.
500 yards rushing.
Got to be moving close to it. Over 300 and a half. We got 70 on this drive.
Impressive.
Could be close to a 450 yard rushing game.
Any way you paint the pig, the pig is still bacon, and this has been one of those bacon nights for the Kazakhs. Cooking with grease and fish oil. This has been a beautiful night rushing here for the Kazakhs. Second down and a first and 10 from the 15. Draw play here for Teskey. Picks up 5. Good play there, heady play there by the young freshman quarterback for the Kazakhs. If you're just joining us, Kazakhs have ran to a 35-0 lead the first half. Second string has played majority of this second half and early second quarter as well. And they have held the line admirably. Have still not allowed a score. They allowed one score and have threatened multiple times offensively.
After 3 quarters in Flandreau, it is 6-6. Bridgewater in leading in Flandreau. Now, if I remember correctly, that was a fairly tight regular season game a year ago as well.
Still
between
incredible.
Those two teams.
Flandreau had their best season they've had in many years. That's still incredible. Bridgewater Emory. Wow. Keep an eye on that. We'll make sure to keep you posted on that score. That's of course the Pepsi scoreboard here. And refs hold this play there for Sioux Valley. They're going to delay of game on Sioux Valley. I believe that's the call.
Another local one, Elkton Lake Benton 20, Esteline Hendricks 7. That one's near the end of the third quarter.
That's a close game, closer than I expected. Esteline Hendricks last week got 50'd by Dubrook, and Elkton is a team that's looking much improved. So that's an impressive, game or surprising score here for the Red Hawks.
D. Smith on their bounce back game. They're up 36-7 with 3 minutes to go in that game, and this Hamlin game is now 52-12 up at Hamlin Continuing Education Center, track and field facility, over number 1 rated Del Rapids St. Mary's.
That's the surprise of the night. Second down, make that third down and 10 now from the Kazakh. Make the second down and 10 from the Kazakh. Sisseton at 15. Quarterback John Teskey picks up another 5-6 yards. That makes it now third down and 5 for the Kazakhs.
Sioux Falls Lincoln 10. Sioux Falls Roosevelt 7. That one's at half. That's the only AAA tonight. The rest must be going to happen as Saturday games.
Looking over at Brookies right now with 11 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. The Bobcats lead the Arrows 19-3. Any other scores you got for us here?
Boy, kind of those others have gone final. Yankton 31, Mitchell 6. A couple of the big games will be tomorrow. That Pierre Aberdeen Central game. Number 1 Pierre versus receiving votes Aberdeen Central.
Got to keep an eye on there and double a Rugby Reich and the quarterback of the Yankton. He's a phenomenal football player. I watched him last year in the playoff against T. They were down like 28-6, and they came back and they were within a touchdown with winning that game. Roby Reich has got a little bit Johnny Manziel kind of charisma to him.
We got to experience that during the Summer League Championships down at the Pentagon when he hit the buzzer-beating heave. Banked in three-pointer against us. The kid's a gamer, loves to play, regardless of what the sport is. Lennox is up 38-0 on Chamberlain. Del Rapids 20-14 in that traditional rivalry Del Rapids-Madison game. Madison came in number 1, Del Rapids 4. That still has 9 minutes to go in the fourth. That game being played at Trojan Field on the campus of Dakota State University.
Which we should mention last night here is there's a timeout for Sioux Valley. Dakota State won their 6th straight against Dakota Wesleyan in that inaugural Egg Bowl game of the season for the Trojans. Josh Anderson was on the radio with me this morning, the head coach of Dakota State, and he talked about how important that win was for their program over a rival school, but also more importantly, just the Trojan Rising mantra. I mean, their football new facilities coming here in the next couple of years, and it's a program university, whether it's basketball, football, it's rising.
Yeah, just so many good things going on down there. Of course, technology, they're on the cutting edge nationally. Technology and with their students that are on campus, a big night, and their football now just seems to be one up on Dakota Wesleyan for the last half a decade there. Another big night, their women's basketball team received their championship rings, second year in a row that they've collected their championship rings, so it was a big night for those ladies as well.
You talk about another thing that's interesting there. We talked today on the radio is two things about this interesting, and we'll get to this actually after this field goal. We'll get back to this quick. Deegan to kick the field goal here, be close to a 25-yard attempt. Deegan kicking, Denzi's in the hole. Snap is good. Kick is up. Kick is wide left and no good. Deegan there on the field goal attempt from 25 is, like I said, no good, and the Kazakh lead remains 35-6.
I like to see that, though.
Yeah, it's a good. I think it's wise to give your kids attempts here with not a lot of pressure to see if they can do it and to continue to work and build off that when the pressure isn't quite there right now.
4:21 to go here in the fourth quarter, and we'll see Sisseton. Could this be maybe the last time they see the football?
It's so back to Dakota State here. I think this is a very good point to make about the Trojans. I was listening to the AD talk last night. Their current facilities were built over 50 years ago, and I should say less than 50 years ago, close to 40-something years ago, I think he said. And they were built to house right around 70 student athletes. Student athletes, yeah. Right now, the university has over 400 student athletes, and they're still utilizing facilities that are meant to host right around 70 student athletes. So there's a necessity there. And you talk about this Trojan program. One of the biggest things you got to think about too, when the kids are going to be recruited, they have to have a degree. In Dakota State in the previous years of teaching and technology, there's not a lot of other degrees there that are applicable to a lot of kids they would want to recruit. So they made an emphasis. The president of the university, when she met with the coaches and the AD to discuss this new facility, so she said we want to add more degrees that are applicable to the life of student athletes so we can get more student athletes to come here. And I think that vision she laid out in partnership with the athletic director and the coaches has been a game changer for that program. And I guarantee in less than 10 years you're going to see a program that moves to Division II or even out of that North Star Conference, and it'll make a big difference.
Oh, what do we have here? This guy's going to take it to the house.
Number 2 for the Redmen.
That's cool.
Make that number 3.
That is cool. Exciting moment there in high school football, and for that young man from Sisseton, and for Sioux Valley to also be good sports on that play.
Don't know the full story behind this, but I believe there's some resemblance of what's going on here. This is a young man that I believe has dealt with some life battles, and they allowed him to come on the field here tonight, and both teams with the understanding it was going to be a touchdown run, and that made it a heck of a memory for a special young man.
That's a really special moment, and that's something you're going to have to catch up, with Coach Hughes and with those involved in that. after the game. He's getting a shout-out here from our public address announcer, Mr. Lucas, giving a shout-out to Sam Bullock, the 5'4", 110-pound sophomore from the Redmen, goes in with an 80-yard touchdown run. And look at his teammates over there helping him celebrate that. I saw a couple of Cossacks. I believe it was Loman, as he was coming down the field for the touchdown, reaching out to congratulate him, putting his hands up in the air for an opponent to take that in for the score. That would be a good post game for you with the athletes that come up here and catching up with one of the coaches to catch the full story of that young man.
Special moment here, though, for the Cossacks, as Board Chair looks up here, but especially more here, I think, for everyone, not just the Cossacks, for that young man, and it was cool, like you said, to see the support Sioux Valley gave as he ran in. It wasn't like Sioux Valley walked down there. They all ran down there with him, celebrated with him, and then Sisseton had their own celebration with him, and the whole crowd stood up, and Mr. Lucas here, the PA announcer, did a good job of really emphasizing how special this is, and that's just why we love high school sports. So often we love it making about a competition, which it is. We love competition.
Yes.
But so often there's these stories that go beyond the competition, beyond the gridiron, beyond the court, that we really love.
80-yard touchdown run. Got that correct? By number 7, Sam Bullock.
Sam Bullock.
Who now has more high school football points, Sam Bullock or Cash Money Claire?
That would be Sam Bullock.
Sam Bullock.
Sam Bullock, surprisingly enough,
has the lead. 6-5.
No, 6-0.
6-0.
6-0.
6-0.
You know, as much to the surprise of you, Bill Vincent, I was not the highly recruited Division I athlete, but it was basketball or football.
Now let's talk rules here. What happens on that play?
Ball out of bounds, untouched. The ball will automatically be placed at, it should be the 40-yard line, but I don't know if is that high school?
Or does that become a re-kick, or that's not even an option at the high school level? I don't know. You talk to me.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's just college and NFL, or if this. Oh no, I think for sure the NFL. I think college is the ball gets to be re-kicked once, and then it's put down at the 35. I believe high school, it's put down at the 40.
So that's being spotted where it went out of bounds.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Right now, I mean, the way it's spotted, to me it appears to be on about the 41.
Yep.
So must be where it goes out of bounds.
Scoring update from Brookings. The Bobcats lead the Arrows 26-3 with 8 to go here in the fourth quarter, and Brookings a surprising thrashing the Bobcats have put on the Arrows in that Week 1 game up there in Brookings. In a game that in AA where the Bobcats, for the first time in 6-7 years, they were expected to have a kind of a tougher start to a tougher year with the departure of a lot of seniors and the majority of their line and their skill players. And Watertown returned to a lot of their roster, and that competitive AA, the Bobcats have surprised, I think, a lot of people tonight.
So you go that AA, you go Pierre, looking for their 6th straight. 6th straight. Which would tie West Central's record, I believe, at 6 straight.
And Pierre's
who's trailing them? Is it Aberdeen Central, Brookings, Thierry? Who's in line?
I would say it starts with right away with Thierry, and then behind them I'd say Aberdeen Central, Brookings, a combination of them two. Pierre recruited really well this offseason and brought some new kids in, and then they look good.
Yeah, they got the big lineman from Douglas. It was neat to hear the interview with him. Just like I'm not game planning now to slow down the stud quarterback. Help me with his name from Pierre. Now I'm helping block for him and protect him. And Trent Merkwan's boy will be out there receiving those passes again for Pierre. The list goes on and on of talented players, but T has athletes from top to bottom.
And they have a new coach too.
Yes. And quick tradition. I say quick because the school hasn't been there but a decade or so, and they've really built a good football tradition there. All their sports have got a good tradition already down there.
Teskey on the quarterback draw there, I believe, lost his helmet, or I think he did. Maybe he didn't, but hard run there by Teskey as the clock kicks under 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Are we still tied at 6 in that Bridgewater-Emory-Ethan game?
Oh, my word.
After 3? I don't know if we can go live with that one and get that one on. We'll try here to check that one out live. I believe that game's in Flandre.
Cossacks lead 35-12, minute 30 to go in this game. The Cossacks possession of the ball right at the 36-yard line of Sisseton. And I imagine we maybe get 2, maybe 3 more plays out of this offense here. And barring a big play, the final score will probably end up running 35-12. MVP of the game, I think, has to go to Sam Bullock of Sisseton. A great run there, 80-yard run for the sophomore. out of Sisseton. Quarterback draw back, and Avatir Teskey runs over the defender right at the line of scrimmage. Their hard charging run there. We got to make sure definitely to give out. We're going to actually give out 2 players of the game tonight. We have our Outlaw Graphics.
I don't know if we've ever had a player from an opponent.
One player of the game?
Win the Sioux Valley Player of the Game, locally sponsored.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah. Is that a possibility?
Oh, we'll do it. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So we got to find a little help here. So
can we ask you, Bill, and if you don't mind, to go down there and contact Mo or get someone to make sure to go over there and get Sam Bullock up here?
We're going to have to find out a way, and I don't know if that's possible either.
We'll make it possible.
That would have to, a little bit be on their choice and the situation that they're in. But he's definitely T-shirt worthy.
Definitely.
Yes.
So at the end of this game, this clock runs out, we'll go to a break, and then if we get...
and if we can't, that will go in the mail or go home with a Sisseton person to get it to him.
All right.
That's another Cossack.
Timeout on the field.
Clock continues to run here down at 13 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter, and I believe it's going to be a timeout by Sisseton. I know there's a player injured, I believe, on Sisseton's sideline, as the coaches are talking over there. So clock down at 13 seconds, fourth quarter. This game is pretty much over, barring anything, any fireworks here. This game will go final. Kazakhs win at 35-12. We're going to get to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get to the post-game show brought to you by South Dakota Soybean Processors. Again, this is B93.7, home of York Sioux Valley Kazakh Sports Network. Going to take it to a quick 60-second break. When we come back, we're talking post-game, talking interviews, player of the game, and much more. Stay with us here on B93.7. Back here in 2 minutes or less.
Lance Trucking supports athletes and students of the fine arts at Sioux Valley Schools. Lance Trucking is locally owned and is located on Industrial Drive in Volga. They are in need of full-time, over-the-road truck drivers. Apply by calling Lance Trucking at 605-627-9296. Lance and the crew at Lance Trucking Incorporated is wishing the Sioux Valley athletes good luck this year. Go Big Blue. Go Cossacks.
Myers Services. Let us help make your farm and ranch operation more profitable. Whether it be a professionally designed and installed field drainage system, general excavation, or equipment storage, we can handle it all. Myers Services stays on the cutting edge of technology to ensure proper design and installation of field subsurface drainage systems. This will allow you a return on your investment year after year. Myers is also a dealer for Lester Post Frame Buildings, one of the leaders in the pre-engineered post frame building industry.
It's time to get lucky at the Lucky Duck Bar and Grill, and they invite you to breakfast Saturday morning, starting at 8:30 a.m. to 11. If you can't make it to breakfast, you can still enjoy their regular menu starting at 11 a.m. Do you like to throw darts? Lucky Duck is looking for 3 dart teams for a dart league every Thursday night. Contact Sherry for more information. Lucky Duck Bar and Grill, located in Volga, where it's time for your taste buds to get lucky.
We want the defense to clog the line, not have your drain lines clogged. If you have a clogged drain, Big Sioux Plumbing, located in Volga, can help you out. They clean main sewer lines, residential and commercial, new construction, and more. Big Sioux Plumbing, a big supporter of Sioux Valley athletics and fine arts. They wish all athletes and fine arts students good luck this school year. If you're in need of plumbing services, call Neil at 690-4085. Hey!
Welcome back to the B93.7, home of the Kazakh Sports Network. I'm Cash. To my right, Bill Vincent. This is the South Dakota Soybean Processors post-game show, live here on B93.7. The Kazakhs trounce the Sisseton Redmen 35-12. As the teams gather at midfield to pray and have a little speech from their coaches, some clapping going on down there as the fans begin to congregate and head toward the field as the ambulance pulls away here on a beautiful night here in Sioux Valley. The Kazakhs again rumble to a win. Coach Vincent, I guess your thoughts on the game? And it was kind of a slow-moving first half, and then kind of a second half of the JV show, but a lot of good takeaways for both teams this game.
My thoughts on the game, right to the top of the list, sportsmanship. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think sportsmanship came to the forefront in this matchup, and the big play that happened out there for the young Sisseton man was really cool. But I thought Sioux Valley was subbing down and building things from that way. We talked about it at halftime. We ran through the scoring and who did what to get up 35-0. Spigler found himself a long touchdown run to make it 35-6. And then we have a final score of 35-12 after the 80-yard touchdown run by Sam Bullock. That's our final there. We still have a tie game, 6-6, between Flanger and Bridgewater Emory-Eaton. The Bobcats have started to open up a large lead there. The Chargers are up big. Elkton leads. Andy Smith is up big on Stanley County, so that's kind of our area rundown of scores that way.
Now, I'll make sure none of you guys leave because we have some interviews coming up, and we're potentially a really cool interview here. We're going to see what the coaches talk about. I think they're calling them over right now. The coaches are talking to them from Sisseton. Right, trying to get an interview with the Redmond player, Sam Bullock, but we're sure going to get a couple interviews with some Sioux Valley Cossack players here, as Mo Rusik's leading the Sisseton player up here to the booth to do an interview with us, Mr. Sam Bullock.
Is he coming up here with the game ball?
He's going to be with the game ball as well, I believe. Interesting story enough, so this will be a lot of fun. We're going to interview Sam Bullock of the Redmond. Going to interview a couple of Cossack players to get some shirts for them as well, and going to be a fun, interesting night here up here for the media crew. Again, I want to welcome you if you're just joining us. This is B93.7, home of the Cossack Sports Network. And we're going to interview Mr. Sam Bullock of Sisseton here coming up, as well as a couple other Cossack players. And got to make sure we get something breezing here. It's kind of sneaky here, Bill. A couple of grown men like us sweating in here in a closed confined space talking football can get a lot of fun. But
it can. I'm going to go make sure Sam finds his way to us, and I'll let you do the chatting right now.
Cool. Again, I want to welcome our listeners in. Cossacks final here from Sioux Valley, 35-12 win for Sioux Valley, and we're going to be joined up here by a couple of Cossack players here shortly, get our Player of the Game awards given out, as well as talk to Mr. Sam Bullock, the young man with the big 80-yard run. The big play of the night was Sam Bullock. We're going to talk to him, and looking forward to seeing his story and what he is about. A lot of fun here. Hopefully you guys are all having a great Friday. If you're just joining us here, this is B93.7. You're home to all Cossack sports, whether it's basketball, football, you name it. We got it covered here on the Cossack Sports Network. I'm Cass, the voice of Cossack football, Cossack basketball, and Bill Vincent, the color guy for us during football, and then during basketball, Jake Schneider will join us on the mic for color, as well as a variety of others. As we love Cossack sports, and we love Cossack athletics, and we love talking football and basketball with you.
We've got Sam Bullock here, Cash.
Got Mr. Bullock here. When I come right here, Mr. Bullock, have a seat right here with us. We'll get you a headset here. Got the game ball for us. Put some mics and put a mic on him. And
Sam, are you good with headphones?
Okay. Sam, can you hear me?
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Well, first of all, I know this is not probably typical for an opposing team to give that a shirt, but we're going to give you a player of the game shirt. Now, it has a Sioux Valley logo on it, but we want you to get you the player of the game for the Cossacks. Okay. Here you go. There's your shirt.
Thanks.
I want to congratulate you on being player of the game. Now,
get a picture.
I'm going to get a picture with you.
Now you can face that way so they can...
We'll get your parents here, too.
Congrats, Sam.
Now, Sam Bullock, I got a question for you, buddy. You're a sophomore.
Yep.
What was that like when you were making that play? When you got the ball and you're running down the field there, I'm sure it was crazy. What was going through your head as you ran that ball down the field?
I felt good. Felt the energy in me, that everybody supported me and all that. That did good.
Is that your first touchdown ever?
Yeah.
Was that
my first year doing football this year?
Really?
Yeah.
What made you want to go out?
Just because my friends did it and it seemed fun. My brother did it. He enjoyed it so much that I wanted to do it too.
Definitely. So when you got that touchdown, you see all your teammates around you, and you see some Sioux Valley guys around you. What was going through your head?
That it was fun, that they were doing good, and that it was all God's plan.
Definitely God's plan. I love that. What's your favorite part about playing for the Sisseton Redmond?
My favorite part is just doing it, having fun, and going on trips and that stuff, and then winning our first game at home game.
It was a big win for you guys last week.
Yeah.
Your coaches obviously some really good guys. Their first year. What's your message to all the coaches and all your fans out here?
Message to them is that do good, do all you can, be the best you can, and always do the best and work hard.
You're pretty wide. How old are you?
15, going to be 16 in October.
Who gave all that advice to you? That's pretty good advice.
Not many people.
A lot of people?
Yeah.
I got you. Do you have any friends out here tonight, or family out here you want to shout out?
Shout out to my coaches and my friends.
That's awesome. Hey, you're awesome. Hey, my name's Noah, by the way. Or call me Cash. Very nice to meet you. I'll be following your career from now on, okay? That's okay. Go enjoy that shirt. What size of shirt do you want? Make sure you got the right shirt.
That is small.
It's a large, but it fits like a small. Okay. You'll grow into it, too.
Okay.
And it'll look good. Let me see if it matches your eyes. Okay, it matches your eyes. You're good to go, baby.
Yep.
Hey, congratulations, Sam.
Yep.
We're going to get out of here, go right to our Sioux Valley guys here. Again, that was Sam Bullock, a sophomore running back for the Sisseton Redmen. He had a big run there. Congratulations to Sam Bullock here.
Our first game, the game we have is, I think, next Friday for JV.
Next Friday for JV.
Friday, their JV will be in action.
Next Friday.
That was Sam Bullock's first ever touchdown. First ever football game tonight for Mr. Sam Bullock, and a huge congratulations to him. We're going to go to the rest of our postgame show. We're talking to Labe Leach and as well as Mr. Bill Teske. And again, huge thank you to Sisseton and Sam Bullock for making that possible. Again, if you're just joining us, this is B93.7, home of the Kazakh Sports Network. I'm Cash, voice of the Kazakh football, and joining us now is Lane Leach. Leach, I guess you're the kind of the power guy for the Kazakhs. You know, there's a lot of fast guys out there. You got a lot of the speedsters like Brock and Donnie and a couple other great guys, but you're the kind of the power guy. Do you take a lot of pride in being that power tough guy?
Yeah, we've been working on it all week, hitting the hole hard during practice, and the linemen had all the bags, and we were just trying to plow through it at practice and working hard on staying low.
Definitely. Well, you know, we were talking about it during the game, is we understand that right now you guys are playing a lot of jet motion, a lot of sweeps and stuff, and it's using your quickness. But when you see a team like next week maybe against EPJ or Bridgewater or Emory right now, who is, I should add, is tied right now with Flanders 6-6, they're going to try to contain that. So an emphasis in the power game is going to be key.
Yeah, we've been working hard on this whole week, just keeping our line low, and because we're getting ready for those games, those tougher games coming up, and we've just been really hard on the line on staying low and getting off the ball hard lately. So
definitely. Let me ask you a quick question here, man. This is a Sioux Valley team that's lost a lot. A lot of great players the last couple of years you guys have now graduated. There's the media's kind of writing you guys off, not saying this team's going to be any good. I guess what's your message as a senior leader in this team that you guys are chasing a dome spot? And what's your message to people that you want them to know that you guys feel like you're a viable contender?
We still have a lot of good people and a lot of people that have surprised a lot of people with how good they are. And, yeah, like Brock Christofferson, he's only a sophomore, and he's really good right now.
Definitely.
Playing defense and running the ball, too.
And a variety of them. I mean, Donovan Rose and that line has played well. And then you got some guys, contributors that a lot of people talk about that are still I mean, look at Jace Christensen tonight. No one really talks about him. He's kind of the manager of the offense, and he had a big run. And then a guy by the name of Lane Leach, he's had a good start to the season so far as well.
And then even Bowden Schiller, he doesn't always run the ball all that much, but he can really block for us, and just follow him.
That last year has been kind of the custom of success in football here in Sioux Valley and Schiller, and he's kind of the main point, you'd think, but he's kind of been the afterthought, and that's in the most positive way because there's so many weapons here in the Sioux Valley offense.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to get off your chest?
Not much, no.
Definitely. Congratulations, Lane Leach, and a big victory to you, buddy. We're going to talk to Mr. Bowden Teske now. Freshman quarterback for the Kazakhs, and during camp I was hearing a lot about this freshman kid that was kind of pushing Jace Christensen for a while there. You're a young kid, you're a freshman, your first year of varsity football, you're competing and eventually with the plans to take over this job here in the next couple of years. I guess, what's your thoughts on this team and what's been your role?
You know, I think we have a really good squad. I'm just kind of here helping everyone out, you know. Just have fun, work hard, go out, get some big wins.
Definitely. For you came tonight in the early second quarter, or say middle of the second quarter, and you played 2.5 quarters of varsity football. I guess what's your thoughts on that, and how integral was that playing time for you?
I think it was really fun to just get the experience, go out there and play on a varsity level. It's just really fun. Definitely.
Wait, anything else you want to get off your chest before we get out of here?
No.
Mr. Bowden Teske, the freshman quarterback for the Kazakhs, played a lot of time. That had a good game tonight for the Kazakhs. You can get back to your teammates if you want to celebrate the victory. Again, this is B93.7, home of the Kazakh Sports Network. I'm Cash. We got to send out here. Kazakhs dominate the Sisseton Redmen 35-12, and that's going to cement a 2-0 start for them. They're back on the road next week at Elk Point Jefferson. Game starting at 7 o'clock Central Time. Pre-game show starting at 6:30 right here, of course, on B93.7. Join me for the call, as well as Bill Vincent and Jason Salzman on color and the pre-game show. For now, though, I got to get out of here. For Kazakh fans near and far, for Bill Vincent here in studio, back to Jason, or to our great guys in the studio, as well as many others. We got to sign off there. Have a great night, and as always, go Kazakhs. Good night.
Cece's Bar and Grill in Vulgate is a